All right, welcome back. As you can see, we've got Nick Lindner here, and we are doing another raw and uncut competition. You know, we listen to your guys' feedback, and so we're gonna do things a little bit different. One, we have some questions we're gonna talk about halfway through that might be a little off the wall, might be fishing questions. And two, as you can see, we're obviously on the same lake. We're gonna be fishing out of the same boat today. Actually, not true. Nick's boat is kind of floating back there. You might be able to see it. We want to do a little intro together to the show. We're on the same body of water, and actually this is a brand new body of water for both of us. And so we're gonna let Nick talk through a little bit of how this lake sets up, kind of the context of the lake here.
I'm gonna keep this real short because I just want to get into the fishing here, but this is a lake that we have never fished before, and it's right in that 4,000 to 8,000 acre range in central Minnesota. Kind of an interesting lake. The water clarity is, it seems like it's pretty insane. Like I'm seeing at least 15 feet of water clarity, and water temperatures right now are right in that low 70 range. So I would assume the fish are starting to set up kind of in some of those normal summer patterns. We haven't looked around at all, so we don't know what we're looking at on this lake. I've heard the walleye fishing can be decent, but it looks like there's some good ones in here, but maybe not a lot of big numbers. So this is probably really similar to a lot of lakes close to home for a lot of you viewers.
Absolutely. So we're gonna get Nick back to his boat. We're gonna get to our first spots, and we'll talk through a little bit of our strategy, and then we'll get right into the fishing.
All right.
All right.
You're going down.
You're going down.
No, you're going down.
All right, well, we are out at our first spots, and before we get started, we need one thing from you guys. I want you to put in the comments who you think is gonna win. I will say, right now I am 1-0, and I have also won a walleye cup. So I'm kind of on an undefeated streak, but that just means if I lose, that just means that I let Nick win, because I just kind of feel bad for him, you know? So if I lose today, that's why. I let you win, Nick, okay? Just for the record.
Do you want to know my prediction? My prediction is the winner is going to be the viewers, because this is going to be a great time. There's going to be some good fish catches. You guys are going to learn some stuff, and this spot looks crazy. Are you ready to fish? Should we start the timer?
Let's start the timer. 3 hours starting now. Do you want to talk about your spot first and kind of your strategy today? And then we're going to fish, and then we'll talk through our spots and strategies as we're kind of fishing here. Do you want to start?
Yeah, so I'm just on this main lake piece of structure. There's like all this bait on it. It's really interesting. So I just dropped my trolling motor down, and I'm seeing obviously like a bunch of bait all over the place. There's like a couple little marks that are somewhat close that almost look like they could be walleyes, but I'm gonna be moving pretty quick, I think, is gonna be my general strategy. This is kind of a big piece of structure. As I drive across this lake, I'd love to show you guys maps, but it's kind of one of those deals where we don't necessarily want to blow up, you know, a moderate to small size lake or whatever. But as I kind of drive around, I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, these pieces of structure are bigger than they look when you look at the map. So fishing quickly, I think, is going to be important. Just kind of covering water is going to be big. It looks like there's going to just be, I don't know what you're seeing, TJ, but to me, this is looking like one of those lakes where there's going to be a lot of marks. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing like a lot of bait fish and a few other types of fish. I'm sure there's all different, you know, panfish and perch and cisco all over the place. So
for sure. Yeah, I actually just casted on a fish already. I literally pulled up. I don't know, were you done talking about your spot, your strategy?
I guess, you know, it's just a big piece of structure. It's kind of main lake structure.
Holy cow. That was kind of wild. So yeah, I am on a large series of humps. I don't know if viewers were able to see that. I was like having this fish following me slowly. So then I was like gonna reel up fast and throw down a reaction bait. And this thing just shot up after it right away. So I thought it was gonna bite. But essentially what I'm doing is I just have this large series of like structure that kind of tops out into that 20 to 30 foot range. You know, it's nice because there's gonna be potential for fish suspended in between the structure or off the structure. There's gonna be hopefully fish on top of the structure. And even right away, I pulled up onto this, just kind of this point on it where it's just getting started. And, you know, I'm seeing some fish. Like you said, there's a lot of bait and there's just a lot of stuff. You know, I think I saw maybe like some schools of maybe smallies. It did seem like there were smallies in this lake from what I hear that were like in big pods higher. But seeing a few fish scattered, seeing a bunch of bait, and I'm gonna be halfway torn between like throwing a
All
jig.
right, I got one. We'll see.
You got hooked up already?
We'll see what it is.
You dog.
It almost looked like it could be a pod of like smaller, moderate-sized walleye.
Okay.
Or it could be like smallmouth bass or something. Oh no, it's a walleye. I don't know if this is gonna be one of those fish that can stay on the card though, honestly.
But also kind of crazy. We are hooked up faster on this literally brand new body of water than when we went to like lakes that we knew.
Yeah, the viewers can see there's a good school of, I just like ran right into a nice school of fish. It kind of reminds me of the school of fish that like Brett was fishing with the jerkbait. That jerkbait video he did recently where it's just like a nice pot of fish. Honestly, they don't really set up that crazy on a lot of the lakes that I fish. Ooh, I don't have my head cam. Okay, let's see. I forgot about that. But this one is 19 3/4.
That's a solid start, honestly.
Yeah. No, it's not bad. Here, I'll show it to the camera here. That would be something I should probably do eventually, right? All right, 19 3/4 to start it off. I'll put that in the spreadsheet. Some people recommended we switch to a Google product for a better syncing spreadsheet. So you guys can see it on the screen. Obviously, we got a little bit of a scoreboard down there.
This also TJ, just goes to show. Can you not see it?
It's not letting me edit. It's not letting me edit it.
Oh, really?
I should have looked at this. I'm sorry.
If only I would have sent it to you last night.
Yeah, that's too bad you didn't.
Is it?
You can put in all the scores.
What? Can you request access or anything?
I don't know. I can look real quick.
What was that one?
19 3/4. Oh, request. Okay, I just requested access. It might be in the email.
All right, let me check.
So there we go, guys. This is raw. This is uncut, unedited. And TJ, I'm making TJ do some extra work. I'm not fishing right now.
This is sabotage.
I'm not fishing. I'm not fishing.
Here, I'll pull it up here. I think I just got I put it that you could access. Yeah, I have you as editor.
Let's even fast forward through this part real quick.
Yes, we're gonna fast forward and get this dialed in. All right, we're back. We actually didn't lose that much time.
No, that was we lost about 45 seconds.
Yep.
All right, we're back on the old grind. Okay, so as we were saying, when we were fishing.
So that fish doesn't count now, right?
No, it counts. It counts. I have a weird feeling that it's not going to stay on the card, but I could be wrong.
Right.
I might be getting a little too ambitious. Where is that school? I should just pluck 3 of those, though, if I can.
Yeah.
Easier said than done sometimes.
These fish are moving on me a little bit. Ooh, actually.
I got way too close to these guys. Oop, I think that might be that little pod right there. Is that one gonna follow it down to the bottom? Yeah, he's gonna follow it down. I'm on top of them, but one thing I kind of like is I feel like if you can get their head pointed down, it actually matters a little bit less if the boat's on top of them. If you're trying to get them to feed up and the boat is, you're 20 feet away from them, that's probably less good. But I think one of the things that both of us are going to be fighting today is just not running up on top of fish because there's no wind. There's nothing to like slow us down. And even when you're going slow, sometimes the boat just keeps on drifting and next thing you know, you're on top of a fish.
I got a good one lined up right here. It's up a little bit too.
I got a bunch of small ones lined up here.
Come on.
I might throw a reaction bait in here too.
I just did actually. Now I'm back to a jig and crawler because this one was up a little bit. Oh, he darted like he wanted it. Keep coming, buddy.
Oh, just got one of them. I think these are going to end up being worthless fish.
But they're bitey.
Got another one, but they're biting.
Dang.
Oh, what the crud is this? Well, that just ain't good.
What is it?
That just ain't good. That's not what you're looking for.
What do you
guys? Don't tell TJ what this is, but you guys can see what it is.
That's I feel like I'm seeing a lot of stuff and I just am not sure what's all gonna be walleyes, you know?
Okay, I'm gonna move a little bit quicker to look for something bigger. Yeah, that's the hard part. You gotta catch something. It does look like some of these schools that are like a little bit bigger, you know, where you wouldn't maybe think they're walleyes.
Yep.
Sometimes they are, but I will say that last fish I caught was a rock bass. So
Nice.
yeah, you gotta break the rock bass. You gotta bust that open, break the seal on that early.
Go. That one
right,
was
so
good, and he just followed. A couple times I thought for sure. Now he's moving. I tried casting on him again.
Sure.
Another.
All right, I'm trying a different bait here. I'm trying a finisher. I've never ever thrown this bait before.
I'm seeing some better size stuff, it seems, but I would like confirmation of what they are, you know?
Yeah.
That ended up being bait. It's gonna be hard. There's like so much like good looking stuff on this lake. That's kind of one of the reasons we picked it too, is like there's so much good looking stuff, whether it's shoreline oriented stuff or whether it's, I'm gonna stop myself here. It's gonna be
one
hard
cast
not
with
to.
the new bait, I'm over it.
You're not having it.
No, I'm over it. It's not a jig and a crawler. It's not gonna work. No, I just saw a big school. I was like, yeah, this is the kind of spot where you get a little confidence in
Get
something.
a little rip.
Okay. Yes, I love trying new stuff. That's like one thing that's always on my bucket list. It seems like whenever I'm doing these competitions or, you know, local walleye leagues, I mean, you always got to have a crawler. If you're not using it, it's got to at least be close by. But I do just love trying new stuff.
I don't like how I'm situated here. I did a quartering cast.
Then resituate.
Except for I already went past these fish. Like we were just talking about. It's gonna be.
These fish are not big. Are you seeing any big fish?
Yeah, I thought I was. I mean, no, zero big fish on structure mid-lake.
So transparency. I am not seeing any big fish yet. I've seen some fish where I'm like, well, they look like 19 3/4, you know? They'd be a perfect derby fish for a local walleye league where you need 4 unders, but
right.
I'm putting it on 10 and I'm pushing the range out and I'm gonna look for something that marks a little bit bigger.
See, and I saw
definitely
some
a lot
good
of
marks.
bait out here. Oh, you did?
And I've casted on probably 2 or 3 of them. I've seen some smaller ones that I haven't casted on. Saw a few good marks. One of them ripped up pretty good, but I sometimes feel like these clear lakes like this, it's a numbers game where you got to cast in front of a bunch of fish.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yep.
Another okay
Maybe.
fish. Don't want to get on top of them here. Another okay fish here.
I should also mention, because we were talking about this earlier, and I really do think it is possible. This is a new lake. We really don't know what's in it, really, you know? This is gonna be really interesting to see how it plays out. We were talking like this could be, like one of us might just blow the other person out, you know?
Yeah, you know, looking at a little bit of the fishery stuff, it seems like there's good size potential.
Some better fish in here. Yep.
You know, not that that means necessarily anything, but there's definitely possibilities.
One of us could run away with this. And the weird thing is, you fish a whole day and the other person might have caught, you know, the bigger ones. But this 3-hour window, we know nothing about this fishery. It's just going to be really interesting to see what we end up finding.
Yeah, I might have to go to a 1/4 ounce jig.
Really?
Yeah. Some of these fish are in that like 25 to 30 range. And they're moving just enough where that 1/8 ounce is just taking a second to get down there.
Sure. Dang, these 2 fish just spooked each other.
Oh, that means they're not
got
big.
one tailing it now. Maybe. That's true. Hope he's got it. We'll hopefully find out here.
You're on some bitier fish.
There we go. There we go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. He's running. He's fighting me pretty good here.
Bass.
I'm not saying he's giant, but he's got some spunk, man. He's got some spunk.
And these
I'll
guys
put my
are
sunglasses on so I can actually see in the water. Although it's so clear, you can almost see like 15 feet down without
geez.
sunglasses.
Jeez.
Oh, dude.
This guy's bassy, I
This is a
think.
good,
I'm hooked up
this is
too.
a good,
This guy darted
good
off
attitude.
bottom.
We got a true 1v1 double up here.
I don't think mine's gonna be. This fish was following me, and this thing darted off bottom. I think it's a smallie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got a smallie. Dang it.
This one's got a chance to stay on the card.
You got some bitey fish over there. No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I was almost gonna net this fish. It's actually
a jig go. Oh, it popped out in the net. I love that. Okay, I'm gonna show the fish off real quick. Show her off. Just a beauty. Just a beauty. Hey, I don't have my head cam on for measuring these fish.
Oh man.
What do you think, TJ? Does that matter as much?
We'll see. If you win, then it does.
21 and 3/4.
Nice. And I've just got a smallie right here.
Beautiful. That one actually, I think
might stick.
We'll see what the potential of this lake and how it pans out. But that's one of those fish that maybe might hold.
Right.
Ooh, and he was so quick with them.
Yo, you got some bitey ones there.
Yeah, they're doing all right.
These ones are decent size, but they've not been as bitey. That one was tailing me, and this smallie just shot up.
Yeah, here's the thing. These fish are bitey, but I don't know that this is gonna be like the deal.
Yep.
You know? Because I don't know if these fish are gonna be big enough after 3 hours.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a few different groups here.
I will also say, I'm not trying to say this for any reason in particular, but this is not a spot that was like my number one, where I was like, oh, this is the first one I got to check out. I just saw this spot and I looked at it. It's like a really big piece of structure. I don't even know that I've fished 5% of it yet, but it's big and long and expansive. And I figured if they were on this, there was just so much room just to cover ground and maybe encounter a lot of fish. Definitely one of those spots where you can actually put it on 10 and really run. So that was kind of my thought process behind this spot, even though it isn't like the juiciest one that I've seen looking at the map. But I've also had plenty of times where like the one that wasn't the juiciest ended up being super good.
Yeah, and I would say this one does look pretty juicy. More so just because it's not like, you know, it's like a pretty large expanse of stuff. That one looks a little better. I might go reaction bait here for a second.
Pretty close to this fish. Yeah. There are fish floating around though. It'll be fun. It's so fun too, because the viewers get to look at the screens and they get to be like, oh my gosh.
Right?
I would definitely pick Nick's spot, or I'd definitely pick TJ's spot.
These guys are moving.
They're moving quick, huh?
Yeah. This one is even closer
sitting
to bottom.
Maybe you've just got just a big giant pot of smallmouth bass over there.
Big suckers. That's what I'm going for.
just big suspended suckers.
Breaking out the reaction bait here.
Uh-oh.
See if we can.
Which one do you got?
I have the the pitch and puppet.
Okay, there we go. See, the pitch and puppet falls really fast.
And that's what I was looking for.
Casting at some fish closer to bottom.
These ones were. Some have been up a little bit. Some have been a little closer to bottom. I can't say I got a great look at any of those actually.
These don't look that big either. I'm not seeing any blimps. You know when you see them and you're like, ooh, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some decent ones, especially because like, you know, your scale is so important. And yeah, I'm a little bit deeper. You know, a lot of these are in that 25 to 35. This guy probably could have been a jig and crawler fish. Or a I'm gonna swim away fish.
They do that too. I've seen that. Yep.
Well, we're gonna keep moving. I might keep. There's some fish tight to bottom, but I might. A little bit of grassy stuff. Interesting. I was assuming this was rocky. I might just roam this thing and try to pick off more of the higher marks.
Give him the slow fall. Is he gonna pick it up on the fall? No. Oop, he's still following it up though. God, this one is weird. Okay, let's keep moving.
This guy, lost him in my stitching there for a second. Come back.
That is the problem. You get into casting range, like I like to cast 55-ish if I can.
Yep.
And you're almost on top of him pretty quick, especially once he starts following the crawler.
Yeah. God, this
Got to
guy's
be a
just
little more
lazy
methodical.
follow. See if he'll follow down.
Hey, did you talk about your spot?
I did, I think. This is like a, yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. If not, I'll talk about it again quick. I'm on like a large expanse of like mid-lake structure. There's a bunch of humps and flats in between that top out in like 20 to 30 feet. And actually, I'll kind of pan for the viewers there. Those right there, I'm fairly certain there's like a little school of smallies. Whoa, we got a wake boat coming in. I'm hanging on for dear life.
I don't like those. I don't like those.
That's and so it's nice because I can just cruise. I can check off the edges closer to deep water. I can check in between them on the saddles. I can check right on top of them. You know, sometimes you'll get like more eaters or schools on top. And sometimes you'll get some of those bigger fish suspended off the edge. So it's kind of a little bit where you could do a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I don't love this cast. And that fish just dove down to bottom. Don't love that. Well, I'm glad you're here, Nick, putting on a show for the viewers.
I mean, I guess you can't be mad with the plunking a couple of them pretty early.
Yeah. I mean, I did catch a smallie, and that's kind of what people are here for.
That's actually sick. I mean, this is a multi-species competition.
Yes.
So
smallies are worth quadruple.
This is a multi-species YouTube channel.
Strictly multi-species. God, I'm seeing some, but they're kind of roaming a little closer to bottom. Do have some other guy that just rolled up here.
I love that. Dude, so these fish, they've reset on the bait, like consistently. That's like their move. I'm gonna let it slowly drop down to bottom here. One thing I do like to do too, especially if I've tried a few things and I'm not getting bites, is I like to do different maneuvers. Like even with the same bait, you know, give them something that's a totally different look. A lot of times I like to have the fish, oop, he grabbed it. I like to have him eat the bait up. Oh, shoot. I broke that one off. Crazy.
Oh, geez, that guy hit it on the drop.
You got him or no?
No. Shoot.
What?
That guy
we both
hit
just
it
missed fish.
Hit it on the drop, and then, which
I wonder if that was
he like darted up for it.
Sure.
And there's a school of smallies, it looks like, swimming out here. So I want them to go away. They're right, it looks like a little bit larger, maybe a walleye underneath that school of smallies. That's the one that just came up and tried to bite me.
Oh.
And so
Did it look big?
Looked decent. I think I'm gonna get around him again. I don't think I stung him.
I'm just afraid I'm gonna mess the fish up today and you're gonna catch like 4 and win.
Right?
That's my biggest fear in life today.
That's pretty consistent. I mean, it's a pretty good fear. Where did that guy go? Or where did my bait go more so? This is a little bit tricky. I have a bunch of schools of smallies that seem to be milling around out here.
Yeah, that's actually sick.
It is sick. Except for the fact that
we're doing a walleye tournament.
They're getting in the way of where I want to cast.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's like in my video where I caught that 31, there's a nice mark. Followed one time, I recast it again, and this dang largie came up and just crushed. And I thought I hooked into it for a second, and then it was just that school of largies, and I was like, oh, dang it. Where did that guy go? These guys are moving pretty good.
Hey, what time did we start this competition? When is it officially ending?
What time did we start? 11?
I don't even know if that's true. The timer's on the bottom, but I want to know for logistics.
So I think we started at 11. Let's say we started at 11, and then we'll end at, what would that be, 2?
Oh my gosh, there's just a lot of fish here. And I was just gonna tell everybody, see guys, look at, there's a big school of fish. I'm gonna pass over these fish because I'm looking for something bigger. And now I'm like, God, you know what, I should just catch them.
I know, I'm kind of in the same boat. I've been bypassing some of these
No, dude, we're in different
ones.
boats, I think, aren't we?
No, I'm actually, you're backboating me. That's the problem here. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm also at the point where I just need to get bit.
Now I'm on top of them. I was gonna like just run past them, and I'm like,
I have a stinking wake boat waves galore here. This is driving me nuts.
that's what you get, dude. You're always in community spots. There's fish. There's boats everywhere. Look at, dude.
It's even harder to see
I would
see the scope. Wake boats are the best.
Big wake boat guy.
Everyone should own one and run everywhere, especially where people are
on
fishing.
Weekdays.
Oh, that looks like a better fish. I'm gonna cast on this fish, Nick, and then I think we're gonna get to our first question.
Okay, I like that. I've been waiting for you to bust out the questions.
Yes. The first question is, tell me your exact GPS coordinates.
There we go.
Are you hooked up again?
All right.
You dog.
Yep, I got my first finisher fish. This is for all the, oh geez. This is for all the people that wanted us to put the jig and crawler away for a second. This one was on a hard bait, ripping a hard bait. And he absolutely cracked it. And then he decided to swim directly under the boat, which makes things really tricky. But we're ready. We're ready, boys. We're ready. Let's get that net. Ooh, ooh, come on. Where even are you? Oh, dude, it's a big one.
Is it actually?
It's a big one, dude. It's big.
Dude,
I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's like a giant, but I'm saying like it's a really, really nice one.
You are on them.
Really nice one. All right, let's get them unhooked quick. That is the only tricky part about these treble hook baits, is sometimes they get hooked with like all of the trebles.
Oh yeah, and then they're...
Dude, he absolutely cranked it. You got one hook in the mouth, one hook underneath. Pop that underneath one out.
And I just threw a reaction bait at this guy, and he swam the other way.
They do that too, yeah.
Seen a bunch of bait though.
You guys should pull him out of the net here. This is the only tricky part. Okay. That second hook is just buried too. There we go.
There is some grassy stuff down there on this hump, so that's gonna make it a little tricky if I'm fishing a reaction bait. You getting it?
I'll pull that out of the net in just a second here, but here is the absolute beautiful fish. I can't see the camera with my sunglasses on. Just a gorgeous pull. Look at how chunky she is. She's plump. Okay.
You dog.
Let's check the length. 23 1/4.
You dog. I'm gonna have my work cut out for me.
23 1/4. Show her off one last time, and we'll get her back in the water.
Oh, go.
Real quick. All right, big girl.
You want a representation of how my morning has started? I just casted on a little bit bigger fish. That thing saw my bait, swam the other way, and then a perch came up and ate my bait. So now I have to switch my crawler out.
Man, she's all worn out. Oh, there's she gonna go. She fought so hard, I think, is the problem.
She was tired?
Dude, I mean, I didn't handle that fish for more than 45 seconds. And it wasn't out of really deep water, you know? There she goes. She was like sleeping. She kicked off super hard.
Yeah, they do that
But
sometimes.
she was just resting. All right, well, that was kind of an interesting development there. What did I say, 23 1/4?
Yeah, that's a heck of a fish.
You know, that doesn't suck. So here's my prediction. I think that's gonna be like the smallest one on my bag.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like when it's all said and done.
All right.
I'm not like making a call, you know, like,
I think
oh,
you
man,
are. I think you're calling your shot.
we're gonna cream bigs, but from what I'm seeing, I think the bite is decent enough that we are gonna see more fish like that, I think.
Well, I hope these fish start turning on. Because I'm chasing a little more of that suspended stuff. These things are very meh. I wouldn't even say suspended. Some of the stuff's been on the structure even.
Sure. See, everything I'm seeing is pretty low, like no more than halfway up, you know?
Yep.
Like I'm in 18 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Sorry, the suspendo's
I
chasing
should
me and I
mention,
kept thinking,
so
talk
this
at the
is
same time.
a number 7 finisher. So, like obviously I work with Northland. I use a lot of jigs. When it's tournament time, you know, like I'll use some glide bait, like puppet minnows are a go-to, but this is a bait I wanted to try. And I don't think I can give good, honest recommendations if I haven't tried literally everything. So this is an experiment. And no better time to experiment
Then an attorney.
than when you're trying to kick TJ's tail.
In the highest stakes tourney as well. I don't know if people notice that. Like,
Well,
there's
we both put up $100, right?
1,000. There's like
1,000?
the National Walleye Tour, and that's like a couple steps below this. You know, this is
like,
the ultimate.
I would say like, it was fun. The other day I was watching Tour Level Gold, and like, I would definitely say like that's kind of like a 1v1 shootout.
Yeah,
like,
they had their fun little thing going with their buddies.
Like a baby version of it, kind of.
Yeah, this is like the real deal.
It is cool though. I will say we definitely get some comments that guys are like, man, this is like diet Tour Level Gold or whatever, and like we do appreciate that. Those guys are absolute savage, you know, savage anglers, total sticks. This is kind of like something that's different, right? Like I feel like there's not very much stuff out there where people get to watch and see like what we do, how we do it. And so like I think this is like a fun, unique thing, right? But oh my gosh, those Tour Level Gold videos are super
those are
entertaining and fun to watch.
They're cool. They give you a glimpse in the world that, you know, there's not been a lot of like media in the walleye world. All right, Nick, I got a fish lined up, but I got the first question for you. All right.
Oh no.
This one, we'll give you an easy one to start. So
I like easy questions.
Nick catches a 29-incher just now. Like, pretend you did that.
Okay.
Woo. Boom, Nick caught a 29-incher. All right, what do you call him that thing? What do you call your big fish? What's your go-to?
I mean, if she's porky, I mean, look at that blimp of a fish.
Blimp?
You know? I'm a blimp guy. I'm a big blimp guy, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Big on blimp. If she's long and lean, like, I don't know, like, man, look at that. Look at that absolute. People just they gotta go back and rewatch some of the videos, I think.
I know.
It's hard in the moment, right?
Yeah, you just gotta have a feel. So you like a blimp?
A big old, I don't know. That's a tough question. What do you got?
I feel like I go back and forth depending on, I sometimes call him a freak. Like, oh my gosh, that's a freak. You know? But do you know what's really funny? In that video where I caught that 31, I had someone comment, there's another one. Had someone comment, you know it's a big fish when you're calling it baby. Because I was pulling it out of the net and I'm like, oh baby. Oh yeah, I was all worked up. And I was like, yeah, that's valid. That's a good fish.
That's hilarious.
That's a good fish. Don't move too much. Don't move too much. Should be dropping right on top of them. Come on. This is the one we're looking for. So yeah, I would say it's a little bit situation dependent. Oh, this guy's actually following.
I would say she's an absolute
There we go.
freak. Oh, you got her?
Yep. This does
I'm
not feel
a big
giant.
fan of that. Okay.
Ooh, actually, I think this one might stay on the card.
Okay.
This one might stay on the card.
That's what I'm worried. I'm worried I'm going to poke a bunch and you're just going to get the better ones. Sounds like
actually,
your spot's a little tougher.
It's not as big as I saw right away. You know, I saw it way down there.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Dang.
Oh boy. But I still think it'll stay on the card. Yeah, these have not been like super bitey.
Oh my gosh, dude. If someone was just like loved trolling cranks or trolling
That'd be the spot to be.
like crawler rigs, it's like, oh my gosh, there's just these big pods of fish.
So should I rip my head cam on or should we?
Well, let's just do honor system.
All right.
How about? I don't know.
32 this one is then.
Oh, it is. Okay.
No, we've got
Nice.
22 and a quarter. Oh, right there, 22
Dang, that's a good
and
one,
a
dude.
quarter. It might stay on the card. I saw a first glimpse of
I
it.
hope it does.
Saw a first glimpse of it. I also want to make sure. Okay. You know how you have that freak out moment where you're like, is something not recording?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I do that every 10 minutes when I do stuff like this.
But everything was recording. So 22 and a quarter.
That helps.
So my, I'm gonna see if yours updated on there.
It should be good.
Yeah. You have your 3, right?
Yes.
Let's see.
Oh, that one grabbed it right away, or bumped it.
You know, even though I'm on a little slower pace, I'm okay with that fish.
Yep, that's a good start.
It's better than,
We're not that deep, really, are we?
no, we're 30, I mean,
We
it
need
says
an
37
official end
minutes
time.
in. What do we want to do for, we cut out a little bit, so we started a little bit after 11. And
Yep. Like 11:15 maybe. Oh, my thing is recording for 38. Yeah. I would say like at least 5 minutes after 11 we started. Should we do it till 11, 12, 1, 2. Should we do it till like 2:15? And if that's a little longer than 3, but it is what it is.
yeah, that's the thing. Like so far, this is kind of, I mean, other than the fish not being super bitey for me, you're on some bitey fish, and like this is
Yeah.
kind of like a playground out here. Like everywhere you look, it's like, oh, I want to try that. Are you hooked up again?
Uh-oh. We got a good LMB here. This is a nice one. This is like maybe almost a 3-pounder.
That's minus points. Is that what we decided?
No, that's pike you're thinking.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Nice LMB. I do know what I call largemouth bass.
LMBs.
LMB. I probably stole that from someone, probably Brett, honestly.
Sounds like a Brett thing. He's pretty creative.
Yeah, I steal all my nicknames from Brett, honestly.
That's a good way to be. Also, I did mention it before,
Gravel lizard.
but we need all the people to let us know what they call their big fish. Oh, this guy
Yes,
was
put that in
looking
the comments.
a little more
I
fiery.
need to go to a new spot. I don't know if I have a lot of big fish in this spot. I actually haven't seen anything. To me, that looks like it's 25 plus.
Really?
And you've probably seen a number of them, just haven't gotten them to bite.
This
if
one's
I
chasing
was
me.
guessing.
This one looks 25 plus and it's chasing me. But sometimes when they start moving, they look longer too.
Yeah.
Ah. Let them go down. Eat it on the drop. Eat it on the drop. Ooh, he didn't chase super fast on the drop.
I hope it doesn't.
I hope it does not. I hope it doesn't not. Ah,
It's meta, dude. That's meta. Okay, what do we got here?
this guy looks
How many
pretty
big ones
solid.
do you feel like you've seen?
4 or 5? People in the
Okay.
comments can fact check me if I'm wrong. I could just be getting excited.
It's always good to be excited. You're supposed to be excitable if you're a YouTuber.
Yes, all the emotion.
I don't know if this one's that big. We'll see.
But then again, that first one that I caught wasn't anything,
Yeah.
substantial.
Very reasonable cast. Very unreasonable response. I'm gonna drop down. He's kind of dropping.
Don't like how this guy
Is
moved.
he gonna grab it on the way down though? We grabbed it on the way down.
You got some
There we
bitey
go.
fish.
Yeah, dude, and I thought this one almost looked okay, and it's probably might even be the smallest one I've caught now that I'm fighting it. Ooh, he's got a good attitude though.
Got a little tight to this guy.
I think I stole that one from my dad. He's got a good attitude. Oh, it's a stinking largemouth.
Yes.
Dude, some of these
geez.
largemouth are setting up. They're really setting up
What the heck?
suspended. It's honestly another nice fish too. I'll show them from back here since you guys won't be able to see it. That's all right. It's just a bass. Just a good eater. No,
That one,
how
yeah.
plump they are. Look at this. So I will show this. I mean, look at how plump this fish is. It might, I don't know if it looks like it on camera, but I mean, she's fat, man, which maybe tells you something about these fish in here. You know what I mean? They've got a lot of food available to them. And yeah, they're probably eating fairly good in the neighborhood.
This guy came up in,
Truth be told.
this one maybe is largemouth bassy too. This first time he came up and chunked me, like fast. Now he's a
Yeah.
little slower. Like,
Sure.
hit it on the drop, like, thump.
Dude, I didn't know.
So I
I
did
don't know if
cast
you're
on
aware of
him
this.
again.
I don't know if you knew this, but like largemouth bass eat night crawlers.
They,
This is something I learned today.
one time they will. Them and bluegills. Ah, I don't want to waste my
Bluegills
time.
really like night crawlers.
Yeah. Ugh.
I was kind of hoping that'd be a better one. It was floating up a little higher. He was a single mark. Okay.
That one that I was just casting on looked a little better as well. Oh man. Here's the first one of the day, Nick, where I cast with my bail closed.
Oh, dude, I was just thinking about that a minute ago.
People,
How many times are we gonna close with our bail closed today?
I don't know if you did. I think it's just me.
I can't remember. I've done it before.
I usually drive around with my bail open.
That's the problem.
And
I
then
do the same thing,
sometimes-
so you think it's open.
Sometimes I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, when you potentially opened your bail 6 minutes ago,
Right?
sometimes you think it's open and then it's not.
Well, that guy swam away, but this guy's coming up. Oh, that guy did a big fish thing. Oh, have you ever had it where there's big fish just like nip it?
Yeah,
That guy just
I
did
like
that.
when they woof it. That's my favorite.
He just nipped it. Oh, he might come back. I've had that happen with like big fish before. They just like dunk, and then they spit it immediately. And it's
Yeah.
hard because you want to let them eat for a second half the time, but like my last video that
a
I
lot
did,
of the
I had to
yeah, I
give it the
remember where
beans
you-
right away.
you switched over to hitting them right away.
Yep.
I would say I've noticed. I don't know. It seems like a lot of times the biggest fish that I catch, they just have it woofed.
Yeah.
You know.
When they want to eat,
Like-
they eat.
Oh, it's 2 fish. Crap. Don't you hate when you think it's one
Yep.
giant and it's 2?
Ooh, this guy's getting way too close. He was out there right away, and then I had to put on a new crawler. I don't know if I'm eating. Oh, he's moving fast. Sheesh. Ah, that kills me that guy just spit and left to hit and run. But that one was so fast, I honestly couldn't even give it wouldn't have even had a chance
Sure.
to give it a whack. I'm gonna kind of work off this edge. That was more on top of the hump on one of these
Yep.
humps. I'm gonna work kind of off the edge and some of these even saddles, see if there's anything floating out here.
Hey, well, I know where you're fishing. Sounds like there's some giants over there. Since obviously you can't catch them,
You're gonna come
I
over
might have
and
to
give
go
him a
over there
rip.
and I might have to go over there and poke them for you.
The guy that's in the lead is coming over to the guy that's not in the lead. What is this?
I'm just feeling confident. Ooh.
You've been on some bitey
Who are
ones,
you?
so that's good.
No, I like the attitude of the fish over here. Just wish they were a little bigger. I'm not seeing a lot of big ones, you know?
There's one there, but it was a little
Oh,
deeper.
there's 4 of them.
and I wanted to chase.
Just got it. Here we go.
Got another bass.
Probably, honestly.
Let's hope so.
We're gonna find out.
There's a little suspendo. Honestly, not as many suspended fish as I was anticipating.
Sure, because you're on a big main lake, like hump complex, essentially.
And it seems like those fish just mill on and off all day long, you know?
Dude, there are some nice largemouth.
Was it another largie?
Another one, yeah. It was like a 4-pack or something.
Yep.
And
maybe those ones
dude,
that I was seeing.
All nice.
Maybe those ones
These
are
all
oh
nice.
geez. Oh geez. This guy was more fired up. Come on. I'm gonna keep him moving because he started out so hot.
Oh, dude, that's a bucket. That is a bucket, man.
Come on.
These are nice largemouth.
It's another decent walleye, I think.
Just a bucket.
For the viewers. Hook sets for the viewers.
Yep. Yep. I'm almost thinking I got to get out of here now, though.
Yeah.
I should see if I can run. I should just put it. I have such a hard time. I always keep on thinking, dude, I should just put it on 10.
And just roll.
And just rip till you find something that looks different. And then I'm seeing these marks and it's like a 2-pack of suspendos or, you know, and it's like, well, that's kind of right. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
This guy's still playing some games with me. He's like right underneath the boat here. Ah, and he's just big enough.
Give him the puppet. Be the puppet master. Who are you?
Master of puppets.
Looks like a little bait ball. It also looks like there's fish like right in it. I'll just throw it. It's fun to just throw at stuff, you know? You ever just throw at stuff?
Just gotta get bit.
Oh, here we go. It's like another, it's probably bass. It's like a 4-pack. Oh, geez. Holy crap. I mean, we got him. We were hooked up, but like, I'm just not thinking this is a walleye.
We're gonna call you the bass master.
Oh, and then of course it's a walleye.
Is it?
Yes.
Good thing you didn't shake it off. That
I'm not
moving.
sure it's a cull though. TJ's like, what's a cull?
Yeah. Walleye. Explain to me what these are.
No, this is dinner. If I was hungry. The walleyes are a little bit darker on this lake too. They're really pretty.
I have a small sample size, so I can't say much.
I'll tell you, they're pretty. Well, there's another one. You can add that total on the bottom of the screen at least. This has got to be like an 18 or something. Yeah, it's like a 17 and change.
Don't want to give up on this big fish thing yet because it's a marathon, not a sprint, but
I think you're smart for trying to catch those fish, especially if you're seeing them and they are walleye. And I'm assuming you can tell at this point that it's a walleye.
Yeah. No, there's been definitely a lot of these have been walleyes. And there's been a couple long ones. This one doesn't look quite as long.
This is one of those days where you would think the bite would be kind of tricky with no wind, flat calm day, it's sunny, it's hot, water temps are starting to sneak into the 70s. Traditional thought process would say this will be a tough day, and you know, maybe if you grind it hard enough, you'll eventually get a couple.
Yeah, if we were going off traditional walleye knowledge, we are stacking the odds against us. Flat, calm, sunny day, clear lake, and fishing middle of the day.
But what's your take on that?
I don't mind it, honestly.
I don't either. They bite in the middle of the day.
Yep. I just did the JMO podcast and I was talking about that. And even in my last video, I talked about that. Like,
yeah, that was like one of your last talking points.
Is some of the times the best. Like, and a lot of that I learned from guiding because like you just had no choice. You couldn't choose. Like, these people wanted a full day trip. You're fishing a full day trip.
You're fishing a full day. Yep. It's funny too, guys. I will say TJ's videos are so good. I watched that video on the way here. And like all it took was I had to watch that video and now I'm beating him. So.
Hey, there's one good thing that came out of you beating me. But remember.
If I can leave a review, that's the review. All you got to do is watch these videos and you can start kicking his butt.
Just remember, I'm letting you in.
No, that's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart.
I said it right out of the gate, so I'm not lying.
Yeah, this fish is not going to be, we're not going to chase that thing down the bottom. We don't need to stick a fish down at 30.
Yeah, there's a couple
Not.
better ones that I saw that snuck down a little bit deeper. This one
Where
looks
is your
decent.
absolute like drop dead? No pun intended. Drop dead like depth that you really don't want to target a walleye at. Ideally.
Great question. That's something I went back and forth on, and it's really hard because like even like the science itself. Sorry, I'm working a decent fish here, and
I want to hear the answer. You better get back to talking.
you give your opinion. Oh my gosh, that guy like ripped the rod out of my hand. Like I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it because my rod tips up in the air. It like took it and ran, and then I set the hook, and it was just not there. Just
That's
literally
sick.
right behind. That was a good fish too. God
Sure.
dang. Just literally right behind the crawler.
Would you say you're kind of blowing it today?
Yeah. Welcome to Raw and Uncut, the good, the bad, the ugly. Actually, I'm not even saying, that was that fish. Usually when they rip the rod, usually it's a pretty good indication that they might be there.
Yeah, I've seen that before. Yep.
I heard that on a podcast one time.
When they just pull the rod out of your hand almost. It's like, yeah, there's a fish. Yep.
He's coming straight up for it again. Then he stopped. This guy's doing some goofy things. It maybe isn't a walleye, but it looked longer than like a bass.
Yeah.
That time,
I agree.
you know that one that bit quick and let go? So on that fish, as soon as I felt it, I gave her the beans, and it bit right behind the tail.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So these fish are just making me question.
Question life.
Yep.
All of your decisions to this point.
Yep. I'm trying to read the
These
mood of
fish are
them,
so
and they are
weird.
not letting me.
Don't read. All right, depth. What's your max?
30 is like my general rule of thumb.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard,
I don't
especially.
think there's a hard rule because I think lakes are all different. I think fish are all different.
Yep. I feel like 30 is kind of the general agreed upon.
Yep.
But even like some of the science hasn't been like crazy. Oh, this guy's looking a little more active. Keep coming up.
Nope, keep telling me the answer.
Keep coming up. It's your turn. I gave my answer.
You were halfway through a sentence.
I need to. You're seeing me fish today, Nick. I need to focus. I need to bear
You need
down.
to lock in, son. You need to lock in. Hey, aren't we due for another question?
No, not yet. Soon.
I agree with you. The 30 is about where I'm starting to be real cautious.
Yep.
If I'm seeing like a fish sitting on bottom beyond 30, I pretty much would never
Right.
cast at that. And I'm not saying I've never have,
Right.
but like I would generally try not to cast at something that deep, ideally. You know, if they look smaller and they look like eaters and I'm looking to eat, you know,
Right.
I might throw like a puppet minnow down there, give it a few rips.
Go catch a couple.
Yeah, but like, yeah, for me, I mean, a lot of times I'll, you know, cast at fish that are in 50 feet of water, but they're 20 feet down. you
Yeah.
know?
That's, I think,
'Cause
one of the
obviously
things. People see the number on the screen, not where the number of where the fish is actually at.
Sure.
Like when they're watching
yeah, and
videos.
I would say it's possible that they were down deeper earlier before you saw them, but I think for the most part that the fish are really traveling more horizontally, you know, off of structure, and they're not necessarily dipping down super deep. I'm seeing a bunch. This is like the first weeds I've found,
Okay.
and there's a bunch of fish crawling on it, which you always get a little leery of. Green carp, aka largemouth bass.
Yeah, if you were doing a bass derby today,
Dude, I would actually have a nice little bag.
which is
Although
pretty par for the
I'd get
course.
eliminated for using night crawlers. Yeah,
Aren't bass
That looks
tourneys
like
only live bait?
fun little pod. Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, I'd like that. I like that idea. Just leeches, Leeches on drop shots? Or drop shots on leech? What? Leeches on drop shots. Sorry, my
Catch
brain.
all of the bass. Ooh, that guy's moving pretty fast. See if we can get down to him. See if we guided him the correct direction. He was around a bunch of bait too, which is fun. Oh, we actually did guide him. Oh, come on. Come on. Yeah. We hit this guy. He was moving, chasing bait. Oh, just nipped at the tail again.
Oh, really?
Yes. This guy's like 15 feet down. I could probably literally see him.
Dude, do it. It's so flat calm. It's so fun to look at them.
Yeah, I didn't see him.
When they're following you
He
up.
swam away now.
You did see him?
Yeah, that was kind of like a Hail Mary. Like, dude was moving, there's bait around. I'm like, I think I can lead him and get him into this direction.
Yeah. Was it a big walleye?
It looked decent.
I think you know when they're big. Like, I looked down the other day. Well, when we were
I
doing
didn't
that
see
last
it
competition.
with my eyes.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, I said I probably could have seen him. He was down 15 feet.
And then I said, look at him.
Shoot. God, there's
All right,
been...
are we ready for...
Yeah, next question. There's been...
are we ready for our stretching break?
Our stretching...
So we don't all get scope neck?
Seriously. Did you see Brett's story the other day?
Yeah, he's got the scope tan line.
If anybody follows Brett on Instagram, and I suppose you can't go back and see it.
You missed it now, yeah.
Yeah, he put a story. He had tan lines on his neck from looking down at scope, and it was awesome.
I love that.
We're gonna rip onto our next question here, Nick.
Well, I got a joke first.
Oh, you got a joke. Nick's full of jokes.
Yeah. You know how like people are like, oh man, never trust an angler that doesn't have a sunglass tan, you know? Like, are they even out in the water, right? I say it, never trust a guy who doesn't have a live scope neck tan.
Is that a joke?
Yep, that's my joke. You're supposed to laugh now.
I am laughing. I can edit that. I'll edit that. I know we said raw and uncut. I'll edit audience laughter.
Can you please edit in a laugh? Yeah, that'd be great.
There's another good one. I haven't seen as many here lately. There's a couple now. That one looks the biggest.
I am thinking I gotta get the heck out of here. There's a little bit more good stuff up ahead though. It's so hard to pull off a spot, and like I said earlier, this is one of those spots, it's real big. There's a lot.
You could spend all day there probably.
You probably could, but it's just nice because you can just run it, you can put it on 10.
Yep.
And like I said, there's still a little bit more good looking stuff up ahead, but if it's anything like this, I don't know how much it's gonna help me per se.
Right. Oh, there was one.
It also seems like maybe the bite isn't incredible in general, because you're having a hard time getting them to snap, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like, is that a fair assessment?
Yeah. No, I've been around a lot of fish and I had a lot chase.
You're not using a gold jig like me, though.
I've also been chasing, you know, that more suspended bite, which you're not going to get.
And I'm not really on that.
You're not going to get as many biters doing that.
Yep. Isn't that funny? We're like opposite strategies from last tournament.
Yep.
I was like all in on suspended, and you were fishing a lot of this like big flat / structure-y kind of stuff.
Yep.
And now it's like the opposite.
I don't know if I'm going to get around to this guy. I'm just going to let it drop. You didn't want it.
This one doesn't look that big, but is that a little short?
Yeah, this other one's kind of swimming towards me. Some of these have been swimming the opposite direction.
I'm scared of whatever that fish is. He's coming up so fast. I have to catch him just to see. Probably gonna be a bass. Oh yeah, get up there, jump.
Bassin'?
Blow your eardrums out. Oh, here we go. This is what I've been waiting for.
Smallie?
This is, yes, smallmouth bass.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that's what those schools were that I was seeing earlier.
Sure. This thing came up so fast, dude.
Ooh.
Smallmouth are so fun to catch.
Yeah, I do like smallies.
So hard.
I'm not
hard
a bass
to grab,
guy.
too. Oh, there we go. Brown bass alert. And I need a new night crawler.
And I know you're more of a bass guy for sure. I am not.
I mean, I just grew up doing it. Grew up doing a lot of bass fishing. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Like you grew up on Lake of the Woods.
Yep.
I grew up in central Minnesota, and my dad, dude, when I was a kid, my dad would bring home a new sparkly bass boat every summer. Like he would win a new bass boat every summer.
So it's a little amazing you are a walleye angler.
Well, I did a lot of bass fishing early on, but I just really fell in love with walleyes.
Yeah.
I love the challenge. I love how tricky they are.
Yep.
I love fishing for them. They're just fun to fish for.
They are tricky, as you can see today on TJ's side of things.
They're just so hard to catch, man. Like, just such a grind.
Exactly.
It's just like one of those deals. It's so hard, man. You catch a few of them, and then you catch some big bass in between, and then you catch some more, and it just sucks. They're hard.
The bass are easy. Bass anybody can catch. Oh,
God made bass so that everyone could stretch a line.
Yep.
This looks like a bigger walleye.
Again too.
Not a giant, but better one finally, maybe.
This one wasn't quite as big. Very good.
Oh no.
This one wasn't quite as big, but I went up on top of this thing a little bit more, and I'm like, I just need to get bit.
Yep.
Oh, we got a white tipper at least.
I don't like
this one probably won't stay on the card. I hope. But holy buckets.
Hope it's like 19.
I got out of that suspended stuff. Oh, come on. Don't dig into the trolling motor. Yeah, there we go. Well, we're at least one closer.
This guy's moving. How big is it, like 20?
Probably right around in there. Oh, and he spit it. Show it there quick. We got 21.
Dang, that's a good one.
21, okay average. I went up on top here. That was definitely smaller than the other fish that I was seeing. So that's a little confirmation on like the fish that I was seeing have been the right ones.
Yep.
It's like, I'm just gonna get up on top. I gotta get a bite here. 21. All right. So if I catch one decent one here, we're gonna be pretty dang close.
Yeah, I still got a little bit of a runty 19 3/4 on the card.
All right, now we're gonna go to the next question. Once I get rebaited.
I can't get this guy to go. He's being all weird. Okay, let's keep moving on here.
Oh, this is a good crawler, Nick.
Yeah,
it's a good
you
crawler.
cast him off with your bail closed.
That's like a 50-50 chance. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Next question. All right, this one's not a fishing question. This one is, and this will be interesting to hear your take on. This one's more food related, and you're interesting with food from what I've come to gather. Just for anybody listening.
In the back here.
Yeah, like for anybody watching, if you've watched Nick's stuff, you've probably seen it, but if not, Nick will like go on a fishing trip and he'll like only eat saltines. And the one day I went out, we were gonna do that live stream, we didn't have service, and dude had unsalted peanuts. That's what he was eating. I'm like, who eats unsalted peanuts?
I don't eat all that salt in my diet.
So this will be interesting to hear your take. What is your go-to condiment?
Oh, I did it! Sorry.
You caught one?
I just screamed into the microphone. No, I just cast it with my bail off closed.
You're just making me feel better.
That's better than any food joke that we could come up with here. Okay, sorry. My go-to, I would say.
And it could be for anything. It could be for a burger. It could be for a salad. It could be like if you had to choose one condiment, that's like the only thing you could eat.
Condiment. I thought you said boat snack.
Oh no. Condiment.
None.
You're not a condiment guy?
No, dude, I don't put anything on anything. Honestly, if I had to pick something, the one thing I really do love is barbecue.
Okay.
Barbecue sauce.
Yep.
I would put barbecue sauce probably on just about anything. But I'm also, that's like not something I do all the time. Like,
you
if
are
it's a
so
burger,
strange.
like, I love having some cheese on it, you know? But like, ketchup, mustard, pickles, like, nah.
So here's the next question. Is this for health reasons? Like, it's just not as healthy, or is like taste reasons? Like, you just don't like the taste?
I'm just 12 years old is my problem. No. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's probably mostly taste. But at this point in my life, now it's kind of like health, where it's like...
You're like, yeah, it doesn't hurt, but I don't like this?
I probably could get into ketchup and whatever, but like at this point, it's like, well, I mean, it just tastes so good to taste the meat and the cheese and, you know, like...
Right.
I don't have to like soak it in... I don't have to soak it in ketchup to like make it taste better. I don't have to put a bunch of sugary sauce on it to make it taste better.
That's valid.
So like, I guess that's kind of where I'm at, honestly.
Yeah.
By the way, dude, there's just fish everywhere. This is like such a cool lake.
Yeah. If there's a time where these big ones get bitey, it could be very fun.
Well, when the first big one you catch, I'm going to just look across the lake and see if I can find you.
Wasn't that you fishing 3 feet from me here?
Yeah, that's me, sorry.
That guy did not want to eat. I might, this guy's a little more suspended, so I don't love doing it, but I might throw a reaction bait on top of him. Those suspended guys, it can work. I don't know what your experience with that is, Nick. Suspended reaction baits, like with suspended fish.
I've never had much success with it.
Yeah, I've caught fish doing it, but it's like not my favorite. But then like Boley's video on a wahi, obviously that's a wahi, so it's just different.
Those fish are so different.
But I have caught fish doing it. But
yeah, I have too. It's yeah.
This guy was just decent enough where I feel like I need to give it a shot. Oh, he darted. Ah, he darted again. Well, maybe I need to go more reaction bait, but it's just tricky because the fish that I'm seeing are suspended and I can't let it hit bottom. There's a lot of like grassy stuff down there.
Oh, sure.
Shoot. Well, I'll give my answer.
Yeah, I'm ready. What's
condiment?
Your favorite condiment?
My go-to. It's very specific. It's ranch, but if anybody's a ranch connoisseur,
spicy ranch or something?
No. The runny ranch. Like,
oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It with the
like
milk or whatever.
It's like the buttermilky, really, I don't know, like it's like restaurant style. And it's like when you get it, it's just different. And so I'm a ranch guy for sure. When growing up, I would literally put ranch on like everything. But now I'm kind of a ranch snob, where it's like, it's got to be the runny ranch. We even used to make it.
What else is something you're like a snob with for food? Where you feel like you have elite taste and you just won't stand for anything subpar?
Not a lot of things actually. Like obviously you can see I'm not too turning down too many anythings. But
I'm with you.
But yeah, I would say I'm a pretty easygoing as far as food goes. I don't get too picky or like too elitist on anything.
I'm a sushi snob.
Sushi? You are kind of a city boy down in the Brainerd Lakes area, you know?
Yeah.
Not like us good old country folks in Park Rapids.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's like a big
you guys are definitely rednecks for sure.
Ooh,
you guys used to have a really good, probably even before you moved there, there used to be a really good Asian food spot there.
Cons?
I think it was like Mongolian. It was like Mongolian.
Yeah. Everyone tells me about, I'm a sucker for a Mongolian grill.
Dude, it was so good.
That's what I keep hearing. And then everyone's like, oh, dude, you should have.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, the building's still there. Okay. Yeah, that is one of my biggest disappointments, is like not getting to experience cons. Because I heard it was super good. And like I said, I'm a sucker for that stuff.
That is what it was called. I remember now. And
Yeah,
I'd
the
only been
building's
there a
still
few
there.
times. I had cousins who lived there in Park Rapids.
Oh,
so.
yep. The building's still there, but oh, these guys are at least kind of interested.
I'm not seeing as many big fish as you, that's for sure. I'm seeing a lot of moderate fish. I think I got to get to a whole new area. I'm really
kind of thinking these guys are smaller. There's one decent one back there. He's actually kind of coming up. He looked a little bigger at least. Come on. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot.
okay. I'm just gonna look on top. Ooh, but look at that inside corner. Oh, it's so hard to move.
That's the thing. It's like everywhere you look, oh, there's a big fish, I think, on top.
I guess that's my fault for not fishing something smaller to start.
But it's kind of nice
And there's
not having to move either. You know
it
what I'm
is
saying?
nice.
Like it's more efficient.
It saves you time. If I could have 2 spots like this instead of like 7 smaller spots,
I get cast.
that would be, like you said, way more efficient. But
There's a couple decent ones here. They're kind of moving closer to me though, so I don't love that.
see, that one looks decent down on bottom, but we don't need to target that fish. I have to just run up to this inside corner. I have an inside corner, so I'm a big inside corner guy. I feel like the fish can pile up in there sometimes. A lot of times I'll see a bunch of bait piled up in inside corners and don't necessarily see fish around them. But you know wherever that bait is piled up, the walleyes are at least somewhat close behind.
Oh, I'm seeing a couple decent ones sitting more on top. I went back on top just to see if I can get bit, but there's actually a couple decent ones here.
Yeah.
They're not. Yep, that guy literally swam the other direction. Not looking super bitey.
There can be a lot of Cisco's too out here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So some of those types of things.
Yeah.
Those can be kind of tricky too. Usually you can, like,
yeah, just by how they're moving.
You know what you're looking at, but like, that is one of those things. I think you could get into the wrong area and just mark a lot of Cisco's,
Cast on a lot of things that are not walleyes.
Right. And the problem is, I mean, a lot of times you just know by looking at them, but sometimes you don't know until you cast at it,
Yep. Well, and we talked about it last time too, but you can be, oh my gosh.
Excuse me.
Not what we're looking for. Guy swam away as it was falling down. I'm just gonna work through this little edge here. And
I've seen that a few times today, by the way.
Where they're swimming away from you?
Yeah, or you start to drop on them and they're like, later, see you later.
Yeah, like, see ya.
Obviously, with how clear this water is, those fish probably know almost immediately when the bait hits the water, that it exists. Like I'm seeing some fish fly up, like that smallmouth came up real fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had a couple do that too, and they definitely actually looked walleye-ish.
Sure.
Nope, those guys are moving.
Finally having a nice area where I'm not seeing anything, which makes me think I'm gonna randomly see one big floater,
Yeah, I'm gonna...
It was almost too much of a target-rich environment where I was before.
Mm-hmm. Where it like gets a little overwhelming of like, God, where do I cast?
Well, and it's just hard not to cast at some of the fish, especially if they're set up halfway up, Kind of sitting up like walleyes like to sit a lot of times.
Yep.
Let's see what we got here.
Couple guys hanging out a little higher there. It's hard to say. I don't know if I like how that one's set up, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm a little more up on top of these humps because you can get some big, like sometimes those big fish will suspend off the edges or in those saddles or like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But every once in a while you see them like mixed in more up on top too. Like they'll get up on top and they'll be feeding or doing whatever. And they'll just be almost like a weed type bite where they're hanging out. Just getting to that fish.
By the way, this is gonna play out really, really interesting because there will be a big fish caught. I feel really good about that.
Right.
Someone is gonna catch a 25+ incher and
sure.
maybe we'll catch 5 of them between us, you know,
by the end of it.
But it's possible that maybe only 1 or 2 gets caught, and that might be the difference today, honestly.
Yeah. I know that's one thing that gives me a little hope, especially now that I'm at 2. Yep. You know, but they're not 2 good ones. My goal was, if I was going to try this bigger fish thing, because I've still been casting at some ones that look smaller. My goal was, if we're casting at bigger fish thing, that I might not get as many, but hopefully they're the right ones. But the fact that I'm only at 2 and they're not even the right ones.
Yeah, the not being the right ones thing is the hard part.
That's where it's a little painful.
But as soon as you get 3, we'll basically be tied, so it's kind of irrelevant, you know?
Yeah.
Or we'll at least be close.
You're doing a better job for the viewers here. I don't know, maybe people don't mind. People have said that they don't mind when we struggle. Gives them some
that's until they have to watch it uncut.
Until they're watching 3 hours. That guy just swam down to bottom.
It's probably been a cool minute since we caught one now.
Yeah, was it the last time that I caught one?
I don't know that I've even really caught a walleye for a while. I've caught a lot of bass.
Yeah, you were bass fishing there for a little bit.
Oh, and I had a smaller walleye too.
Oh, yeah.
As well. That was
Did I see you
recent.
up in the slop flipping?
Yeah, dude, with a frog actually.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's always fun. It's always fun to whip a frog out every now and then.
Exactly.
Sometimes you're just itchy. It doesn't matter if you're fishing a walleye tournament. You just got to poke one on a frog.
Yep. I will say, obviously I didn't grow up a bass angler, but the little bit of frog fishing that I've done, that is fun.
It is.
This one wasn't a planned question, Nick, but I got one for you.
Okay.
Sorry, were you going to say something?
I got a frog tip though first.
All right, give us a
Here's my frog tip. If you're a good jig and crawler angler, you're probably going to be a great frog angler. Just be impatient.
Yeah.
Frogs, you gotta give it just that little half second before you set the hook.
Yeah.
If you've missed a bunch of fish on frogs, you just got to know that when the fish comes up and creams it, you got to wait for them to turn around and kick that tail in the air, and then you set the hook. So maybe you're not waiting as long as you do with the jig and crawler, but the concept remains. You got to be a little patient.
Yeah, that's one thing that I learned quickly.
All right, so I'm seeing some fish piled up in this inside corner, but they don't look big.
They look bitey.
They look like bass. What about that guy? He's almost right under the boat now, though.
I'm just not seeing as much here.
That's bait. Okay, I'm moving. This sucks.
You're moving?
I'm moving. I'm gonna move. So you're gonna have to talk to yourself for 3 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna talk so much crap.
Dude, good. I can still hear you. So I have my AirPods in.
You gotta take your AirPods out. This is just time for me and the viewers here.
All right, I'm officially muted, so you can mute me when you edit this.
All right, Nick's off. Nick's offline. He's going. It's just me and you. I'm sorry. I do see a decent guy. You see how that guy's moving? You can see he's a little bit more, not quite thick red. Part of that is he's in the stitching. The other part is I think it is moving a little bit. We're gonna try to get around that guy. Don't go towards bottom. Oh, there he's coming. That's what I should do, is I should just make a lot of noise like I'm catching a giant, because Nick can still hear me. Come on, that guy's looking. That guy's looking, and he looks long. Come on. Yep, he bit. Yep, he bit. Looked longer. Looked longer. I don't think it's like 30, but this is a longer fish. Nick, I know you can hear me and I know you're not mic'd up, but I hope you can at least hear my drag going to know that this is not even a joke. It is not. Let's see. Don't get off. Oh, it's right in the glare of the sun, so I can't even see it. This one's a little bit bigger. This one's gonna stay on the card. Whoo! There we go. This one might be the kicker I'm looking for here, Nick. Ooh, this one might be the kicker I'm looking for. Oh, yes. Oh, Nick, this one might be tough. This one might be tough. I'm not even joking right now. As much as I would love to say I'm joking.
Why would you love to say you're joking? I would think you would not want to say you're joking.
Yeah, I guess more so love for your sake. Are you back mic'd up?
I'm backed up, mic'd up, yeah.
I'm gonna show that off real quick. It was got kind of a cool spot on it.
Is it a
Let's
giant?
let's see. Not a giant, but it's gonna be tough. It is.
27.
Woo!
You sound really excited.
27 3/4.
Oh, that's gross.
27 3/4. I'm gonna give a good shot to this guy. Hopefully the camera's looking good. Woo! 27
the restaurant.
3/4. You bet. That one. Yes. Whew, that one was more on top of this hump actually. It tops out in like 25 here. I guess that's where it's showing right here. Oh, also, Nick, it's kind of funny that I was just talking about that. What did I say? 27 3/4?
Yeah, 23 3/4.
27.75. Yes. All right, so now I'm at 71 flat. That
Jeez,
is awesome.
that's what I finished the last tournament at. The last 1v1.
71 exactly, and I was at 71 and a half.
flat. Yep.
Also, just goes to show, we both went to like lakes that we knew what we were fishing, and we're already halfway in, and around our averages for there on a random lake.
This is a better lake.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we were both on solid lakes for the first one.
Yeah, we also knew there wasn't a high top end.
Yeah, this is a better lake, I would say.
Sure.
We've never fished this, you know, but like you can just tell by the survey data and whatever. So
that one, there was 2 fish that were kind of hanging off this on top. There's like all this grassy stuff on top of this hump. I'll just kind of pan back over it. You can see there's a bunch of bait up top there. There's 2 fish that are just kind of hanging out. And I casted at actually the other one, and they were both kind of moving.
So it's like a 2-pack of giants?
Yeah, they weren't like super close together. You know, and sometimes it happens fast, and you know, if I go back and actually watch the footage, maybe it happened a little differently. Mm-hmm. But it actually, as I was panning around, I kind of lost my jig for a second, and then it was just there, and this other one got straight vertical. And so I was like, well, we're gonna run with this and see what this does. There's a guy hanging off this edge a little more. Oh, I'm sweating. Doesn't take a lot for me to sweat. It topped out at like 25.
Sure, pretty deep.
Yep. So I got another one suspended off the edge here in like 24-ish.
You're just excited. You're probably gonna plunk another one now.
No, this one doesn't look as big as that one. That one was one of the bigger marks that I'd seen, for sure. Ooh, this guy's right in the stitching, but he's looking. He's starting to follow. That one, it like finally bit like it's supposed to, you know?
Sure.
Like the other ones have been like tick, 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 nicking at it, biting the tail.
Yeah.
That one you finally felt it like thump. Was able to give it a half second. So are you at your new spot?
Yeah. I am seeing some fish scattered around, but really not exactly what I'm looking for, I don't think.
Yep. Now it's the trick of, we're both full. Do we both just go like for big hunting? Or do we try to make more incremental upgrades?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking at these spots, right? Where it's like,
Yep.
you could catch smalls, but there could be giants on it. So I haven't necessarily not been big hunting, you know?
Yeah.
But
right, there's all these spots where they're going to be around somewhere, most likely.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's enough spots, you know, where it's like,
Yep.
you can kind of run them and find some bigs. I'm looking over it. There was like a little saddle that we talked about when we were both just kind of comparing notes when we looked at the map.
Yep.
So I'm looking over at the saddle. There are definitely some fish here. Although I don't know that these are walleyes.
Yeah, there's a
I shouldn't
lot.
tell
Are you
you
seeing
this. You might have ran back here.
There's a lot of bait. Are you seeing lots of bait?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of bait around. So this kind of stuff, where did that guy go? Some of this kind of stuff is interesting because he's more out in front of me now. You know, it's really, there's something on bottom, grassy type stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's some more. And then there's all this bait cruising. So like, typically, that was a bad cast. Typically that's not what I'm always looking for these bigs, you know? You're looking more off the edges, but
yeah, sometimes they can just be sitting up on there though, for sure.
Yeah, like that's what I was just talking about is like, yeah, they can be just roaming up on top of some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get out far enough. The nice thing is too, is like, honestly, some of these, if they're big enough, like you were talking about that first spot, it's like, oh, you could have fished a lot of it, or you could have fished it all day, or, you know, you could have kept looking at the same stuff. And like, you can keep making circles around it too. And like new fresh fish will be around, or like, you'll see something different, or the fish might be in a different mood, you know? So it's like, you legitimately could fish the same stuff.
That was interesting. Like last time we did this, the 1v1, I had a spot where I only fished 2 spots, you know, but I just basically went through and like recycled through the same spots, the same 2 spots, kind of like where I'd finish fishing it, and then I would go and I would like, you know, I'd go and refish it because they just reload and the fish just go back and they set up on it. But I'm driving again, so I'm gonna mute here.
You're gonna keep moving?
Yep.
All right. This might be good luck for me, Nick. I don't know, you might want to stop doing this. Let's see. Let me get around that guy. We're on a little bit deeper part. This one tops out at like 29. That fish is probably sitting in like 26.
I'm actually gonna look right here quick before we go.
You're still on?
I'm just gonna look real quick.
Come on. Nope. That guy's not looking as big either. And he's not moving. I think I'm just gonna finish out this little point here, the point of this other side of the hump, and then I'm moving. I'm gonna go try something different, which is maybe a bad call since I've been seeing good fish. But part of it's just like, I don't know, I have a tough time sitting in one spot.
Yeah.
Oh boy, those guys spooked. I don't know if I got too close or what. Where's the splash? Yeah, I'm getting roasty. Whew.
It is hot. I know. I literally just took my hat off and I'm like rubbing my forehead.
Yeah. Ooh, there's one little knob on this. I'll point it out in front there. There's one little final knob that tops out in like 28, 27. You can see there's one behind me too. See, there's a few fish on it.
I'm getting
Are you moving?
Here. I'm moving now. I'm moving now. I just wanted to check this little bowl. I'm really not seeing fish set up in some of these bowls.
No.
You know, I wonder if they're just a little tighter to structure maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked around enough yet. We'll find out.
I know. That's the thing. Me and Nick were both talking before this. Are you off now?
Sure.
All right. Sounds good. Me and Nick were just, ooh, there's getting some fish getting excited, but these don't look as big. Me and Nick were talking before this of like, it's gonna be, we could literally fish all day out here. There's so much stuff going on. And that's gonna be a really tough part about having it be only 3 hours is like, we're gonna wanna check out so much more stuff and you're gonna wanna be somewhat efficient on fishing spots that have fish. You don't wanna waste time checking out stuff, even if it could have big fish potential or whatever. Like, you almost need to go to more of the guaranteed type stuff. Huh. Not having it. Not having it. Oh, wind was picking up just for a little bit there, and that's kind of when I got those couple bites too. That happened last time on the last 1v1. Hope there's a few more hanging out up over here. These ones look okay too. It's like when that wind picks up just a touch, sometimes that can just be the difference. And I do still love fishing when there's no wind, just because it's so easy to position the boat, so easy to cast, but it does sometimes make the fish a little trickier. You need to keep them away farther, and I don't know. I hope this isn't two. I hope this isn't two. It kind of looks like one. Oh, he's coming up pretty good. Come on. Yep, he bit. Oh, he spit it. Oh, he spit it. Coming back for it. Coming back for it. This one looks okay. Come back. I do find when they give it just that little nip, if you don't sting them, they do come back a decent amount, but they have not been coming back today. Shoot. Come on. No. See if he'll come up. We're running out of space here. We're running out of space. Try drop down, see if he wants that.
Right, I'm back.
Bit for just a second.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. When I was driving too, I was like, you said he bit, he spit it, and then you said he's coming back. I'm like, oh, it's over.
That's,
I found
do you find
like
that?
if they drop it, I feel like if they are back on it again, they almost always bite. Like,
yeah, that's what I feel like too, but that one was not. Ooh, this one's looking not as walleye-ish. Yeah, this one bit, but it's not. Bit for a second. Little goofy feet acting. That one was definitely not acting as much like a walleye. I don't know what that would have been. Could have been, you know, some of those bassy stuff coming up. But yeah, I'm glad you've had the same experience like many times. If they spit it and they're coming back, they will bite again. At least if they get on it. You know, sometimes they just spit it and then they move on. But if they start following again, there is a guy off the edge a little bit. That's kind of cool. You can see some bait hanging out there. And there's just one good mark hanging out off that edge. Ooh, that's a bigger fish. That's a bigger fish. Come on. Get down to it, get down to it. It's so funny how angles make a difference, you know? Like a couple times it didn't look as big, and then a couple angles it looked pretty dang big. We're gonna have another question here in just a second, Nick, but I'm gonna catch this giant first, if that's okay. Yeah. That guy got like ahead of me. That was weird. He like chased past me.
There's a wake boat sitting on the spot where I want to fish.
They're the best. Everybody loves you, wake boats. There's gonna be some people that are secretly hurt when I say that.
They're probably not watching this video. It's funny though, I watched a viral video of some dude just getting totally swamped by a wake boat.
I think I saw the same one.
Bass boat. And all the comments were pro wake boat people that were like, well, if you didn't have such a tiny little boat, or like, obviously you have no idea how to deal with waves. Like, it is just funny. It's like, dude, it was a flat, calm day and he got totally swamped. Like, that's just so obnoxious, you know, to have a boat that does that.
We need to accompany for yours. Like, okay, so that means no kids in their little 14-foot boats can ever be on a lake. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, like the shoreline degradation from those enormous waves has to be crazy too.
Right. What do I want to do? I think I'm going to move, Nick.
Dang.
Do you want me to give you the next question so you can talk about it first? Or do you want me to drive?
I want you to give me a waypoint.
Waypoint? I'll give you a waypoint. It's over at the boat landing.
The complex? Yeah.
Pack her up and head it home.
Yeah, actually, I might go in and grab a burger.
Pack her up, and I will say, this kind of like happened last time too, where I'm like, was getting kind of nervous, and I was like, I just want to at least make it competitive, you know, like,
yeah,
because you were kind of pulling away there for a little bit again too.
Yep.
Yeah, these guys, I shouldn't even waste my time with this.
Yeah, that's a perfect spot to bust out the wakeboard right there.
Right where all the walleyes are.
Ideally, yep.
Uh,
So I'm traversing between two humps right now, if folks are wondering what the heck I'm doing. I'm seeing like some suspended Cisco types around here.
every time oh, there's some behind me too. Every time I'm thinking about moving, I see something. I was just gonna get ready to take off.
Yeah, that spot sounds like it sucks. You should definitely leave.
They're moving though. That guy just went straight down the bottom. Well, I'm gonna fish this a little bit farther on this spot, and we're gonna do the next question.
You haven't even moved yet, have you?
Well, it's a pretty large spot. So it's like I've covered a large area.
Yeah, but you haven't like turned on your big motor yet.
But I haven't turned on my big motor yet. You know, that's kind of what happened last time too. You know, you said you fished 2 spots. I don't even know what to say, like in our last 1v1. Technically, I fished like 7 spots. Like,
yeah,
I just trolled.
You had some really short moves though.
Yeah, there's like, again, kind of a similar thing where there's like this series of humps and stuff, so you can go to like one spot to the next. And even like we talked about, spots are often larger areas, you know, nowadays. And so next question, Nick.
Uh-oh.
What do you think? This is, you know, obviously we know all the drama with forward-facing sonar, but what do you think has actually had the bigger impact on fishing, forward-facing sonar or mapping? That's like, I think people forget about mapping. Like, that was such a huge difference maker when lakes start getting mapped for the first time.
Mapping was easily the biggest game changer before forward-facing sonar. Like,
for sure.
Very, very obviously the biggest. Yeah, that's so tough to say. I don't know. I mean, I think you can definitely forward-facing sonar with no mapping, but it's like significantly better with good effective mapping.
Yeah.
There's some, those are, I don't know that I want those fish. What is the bigger game changer though? I don't know, that's so hard. I'm gonna throw into this little pot anyway. The bigger game changer, I would say, it's tough to say because I wasn't around when mapping came out originally, you know?
Oh, yep. So you don't like...
Or I was so young or whatever too, you know? I think, like, I'm sure some people already had spots and whatever figured out and blah, blah, blah. And there was always paper maps and whatever. I would say it's very close. I would maybe... I got a good answer now that I've thought about this for a second. I would say mapping is the biggest game changer because it's so much more widely available and so much easier to master.
Yep.
So you take like this beautiful, sexy hump and it's like, all right, that thing's gonna be loaded. And it's like, now everybody can just pull up their boat to it and drive to it and drop on it, you know?
Right.
But like if you're talking forward facing, like first of all, not everybody has it. You can't just get forward facing on your phone, you know, like,
it might get to that point. Like, well, maybe not on your phone, but like, you know, way more accessible.
But there's just so much bigger learning curve.
Yeah.
I would say like for the like the very, very top end elite anglers, I would say forward facing sonar is the biggest game changer. But I would say for fishing in general, mapping is a bigger game changer. Now that I've thought through that, I think that's how I would play that question.
Yeah. No, I think that's makes a lot of sense. And I'm still torn, you know, like say everybody had both, you know, like what would be the bigger difference maker? If like money and like availability wasn't an option, I don't know. But I would almost say on bigger lakes, so like I grew up fishing Lake of the Woods, you know, like I would say almost on bigger lakes, mapping has made a bigger difference Because if you're gonna find a hump on Lake of the Woods, it's gonna take you weeks, even with, you know, 2D sonar. But like without 2D sonar, people were dropping, you know, weights with string to measure how long it was, like to.
Yeah.
So like it would take you weeks.
They were running crankbaits, and then it's like, oh, that crankbait just hit bottom. There must be something back there.
So like on big water, that cuts weeks. And even if you could go like fast with forward-facing sonar, it still could take you a very long time. Those fish moved. To find fish with forward-facing sonar or find structure or whatever. But like now,
if it's big, vast water, yeah,
it can take you 3 minutes to find this hump that can get loaded up, and then you don't even need forward-facing sonar, especially like a lake like it would. Like you don't need. Yes, you're going to dial in bigger fish and that kind of thing with forward-facing sonar, but so many big fish have been caught.
Yeah.
Without it, you know.
It's also important to also mention that like we're mostly looking at things through the lens of walleyes.
Yeah.
I would like argue for musky forward-facing is probably a lot bigger game changer.
For sure.
Because in a lot of cases, guys are just fishing for fish that are suspended out in the open water, you know?
Yep.
And being able to have forward-facing, it's like, well, mapping didn't even matter, you know, for
right,
those
you can
fish.
drive around without mapping.
And yeah, so if you're fishing structure, it's like a lot of times guys are like fishing cover, you know? When they're musky fishing, they're fishing weeds, they're fishing rocks, you know, they might be fishing some structure, you know, like a big deep point or something, but you know, they're fishing a lot of cover and then they're going out deep and casting, you know, for fish out like suspended over super deep water.
Yeah. So it's definitely species dependent too.
I think so too, yeah. I think like bass, like I would say for sure mapping was a bigger game changer. And same with walleyes, I would say.
Yeah, being able to find that hump or that point. Yeah, and because like if you go on a 500-acre lake with forward-facing sonar and no mapping, you could break that down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, it's almost like the size of the lake in some respects. You know, of which one.
Sorry, I'm just like, I'm not finding anything on any of these spots. Okay. And like some of the viewers might be like, well, there's some fish down there, but it's like, you can just tell the way they're sitting, you know, the way, and I don't even need them to be like way up suspended. I just want them to look a little bit bigger.
Not tight to bottom.
Not super tight.
A decent one. Maybe the viewers are able to see it. Maybe I'll put it up full screen for a second or something. I don't know. There was a good one and I casted right on top of it and I thought it spooked. And it kind of did. It spooked straight down and all that bait that was underneath it just ripped. Went down. So it was kind of like chasing it. So that was kind of cool. God, I'm still seeing just enough fish to hang out. But I also want to, you know, like, I don't know, give something to viewers something a little different to look at too. What's that? Got it. Ooh, this guy's coming to look. This guy's coming to look. Yeah, some of these fish are doing some goofy things where they'll like dart after it. While you were talking there, Nick, too, I don't know if your mic's on or not, but while you were talking there, I had another one like grab the tail, like it's like it's grabbing the tail of the crawler, turning. So my rod whomp loads up and I just set the hook because I feel like I need to. And then it's just the tail. So that's tricky. I don't know. I'm torn right now on what to do. I'm gonna make one more little pass through this saddle. There's this little saddle there's like these two humps. Actually, there's like a series of a few humps. And if you've watched any of my videos or I talk like, or Nick's videos have talked about it too, like we're talking mid-lake structure. A lot of times, especially back in the day, we were talking like just on top of these humps or maybe off the side, you're driving with your 2D, dropping a reaction bait on it. But now with forward facing, it's so crazy how you can go in between these humps. You can go in these saddles. You can go, and they're just fish just roaming. And a lot of times those are your good fish. And they will move up on the humps as well. You know, like they're gonna, especially when they're ready to eat, They'll move up on top of these humps and they'll get ready to chow, so you can catch some of those. But you know, during the day, a lot of times they'll just roam off these edges and kind of chase, whether they're either chasing Cisco is a lot of times what we say, but sometimes I think they're almost like just relaxing out there. Like, no, you know, they're the apex predators half the time, so they don't have anything to worry about. Ooh. No, maybe it wasn't anything. So they just don't have to worry about a lot of that stuff. Ooh, there's one. I was covering a lot of water. You can see it tops or bottoms out, I should say, in like 35 here. But that fish specifically is down about 23, 24.
All right, I'm back. Your boy's back.
Ooh, my live scope's like lagging. Have you ever had that happen where it's like, it lags?
No, I've never really had that problem.
I don't know what the deal was. It like started lagging for a little bit. I don't know what that was. It was weird. Anyways, I lost that fish.
Oh, you lost track of him. You didn't hook him.
Yeah, I just lost track of him. Oh, there he is. That was weird. That like froze up on me. I have not had that happen. I've had it where it like lags for a second, but that time it like legitimately froze up.
You look on Facebook Marketplace and TJ has a live scope bundle for sale.
Nobody buy it.
Almost new.
Yeah. Ooh. See if this guy will keep hanging around. Nope. Have you been seeing much off structure?
No.
Suspended or anything? No.
I haven't.
Yeah, it's when I start going fast like this, my trolling motor or like my live scope like freaks out. Like when my trolling motor's on 10. Yeah.
That's weird.
What time did you say we were going till again? 2:15?
2:15, I think. Yep.
So we got about an hour and a half. So kind of like we're a little over the halfway point.
Yeah, do a halftime report.
Halftime report. Nick has been on much more fish. He's been catching a little bit of everything today. I have been on less fish and just stuck one big one. So that's kind of what's keeping me, I'm not even saying keep me in the game, obviously keep me in the lead, is that one big one. We talked about that, but I don't know, you were probably feeling the same way, Nick, is like, just based off what we're seeing, you could come across an area where you catch 3-4 mid 20-inch fish pretty quickly, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say I have not marked a fish that was over 25 inches.
Okay.
That would be my assessment so far.
Yep.
But I'm starting to move around a little bit more. So my halftime report is good action to start, a good flurry, and then I've really changed a lot of things up here this last.
Trying to grind it out to get some bigs.
Yep. I've changed a lot of things, so I'm hoping that makes a difference.
Oh, these guys are swimming straight down.
I've got one chewing on it right now.
Oh boy.
There we go. This one even looked a little bit better.
Let's go. Not too big though.
Yeah, it could be though, right?
No, he can't.
No, like that's probably okay, right?
No,
like
I don't think so.
This one is digging, man. I don't know if it's giant, but it's digging.
See, now you called it a giant.
Yep, take notes here.
There's so many names. I feel like the bass guys are really into that.
Yeah, that's because it's so easy to catch them that they're just bored and they just need something interesting. This one is definitely a cull.
No.
And the hook got stuck on the net, which is perfect. It popped it right out. All right, buddy.
What'd you catch that one on?
I can't remember. No, that was on a night crawler. He came right up. He came right up. Show him off to the camera real quick. I probably could have measured him first, actually.
That's what I've been doing just in case I flop it.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm netting him in the back of the boat.
Oh, yeah.
The measurement device is in the back.
Yeah.
Mouth closed, tail pinch, just barely touching 22 3/4.
Dang, that's a good upgrade for you. That's going to get us close.
A little bit closer. I mean, I think that's like 2 or 3 inches. God, he's got a good attitude.
This guy sees it.
3 inches, 22 and
See if this guy
3/4.
sees it.
That is a call.
The wind is picking up a little bit here too.
Yeah, are things gonna really change here quick?
Do you notice how the wind has switched directions like 2 or 3 times already?
Yes, it makes it hard to do things.
And it's not like,
confusing.
right, we shouldn't complain too much because it's obviously a not windy day.
Yep.
But it literally did almost a 180 here, you know?
Yep. 22.75. Is that right?
So I know the viewers can see it, but give us an update. Where are we at for my knowledge?
You have 71.
Mm-hmm.
I have 67.75.
All right.
So I'm like a little over 3 inches behind you, but that's just one good fish, like
For real.
a 25 or something, you know?
Because what's your
like,
smallest right now?
I don't know. I'd have
That's
to
a
look
bad
again.
cast.
It's 21 something. Like a
So
very,
that's very doable.
very, very doable, like 25 incher or so.
Especially what
would
we've seen on the
pull me over.
surveys.
Yeah, I mean, my thought was that we were gonna have like 325s each, honestly.
Right.
Like it's, the data is promising. There are some big fish in here. Obviously, TJ has one of them, which seems to be helping his weight.
Oh,
But it's,
this
dude,
guy
it's
eat it on the
possible.
drop. Ah,
Outside of
Didn't-
that very big one, it's possible that we actually like call all the fish out of our card. So that's my halftime report.
I like
Is interesting start so far,
yep.
but if things are right and we find the right areas with the right fish and they're biting, it could change real quick.
Things could happen.
Things and
Even
stuff.
if like some of these fish that I've seen, you know, I've been seeing a decent amount that I think are decent
Why'd you say amount like that?
because I was thinking and talking at the same time. Remember, I gotta do 2 things at once. Ooh, let's
I feel like
see.
if you really focused, you could do 2 things at once.
Are you mocking me?
What do you mean?
We are on the same lake now. I'm not afraid to come over there and fight you.
I'm a crafty little guy.
Sneaky. I think one thing people might find interesting is both of us are kind of baseball nuts. That was
Yeah,
like
that's true.
one of our first, we were going to Devils, I think, together. We were driving to Devils and we got talking and both of us, I don't know, I guess I don't watch baseball a ton. So I
I
shouldn't say
used
like
to.
I'm
I
an
don't
avid.
as much anymore, but
Yeah, I have a tough time. Like there's so many games, 162 games is so hard to like watch many. So I just kind of didn't watch any. But both
Yeah.
of us like loved playing baseball. And if you listen to Nick's JMO podcast, was that JMO podcast you talked about, or was that the Pass the Bar
I actually
podcast?
don't remember. It was probably a while ago.
You were talking on
Oh,
one of
you're
them on
talking
the
about
podcast.
recent? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't
You talked
remember.
about it, how much you loved
Baseball.
playing baseball and just
Yeah.
yeah, playing sports in general. So yeah, both of us are big time baseball nerds. What positions did you play, Nick?
You know, my heart was behind the dish.
That's what I thought. I was like, weren't you a catcher?
I was, but then my knees told me maybe you shouldn't be a catcher anymore.
Yeah.
So I did end up moving out to the outfield after that. The good thing for me is I really did like to hit too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just like
Catching was your only thing and you hate
catching
everything
is
else.
life. Yeah, but I really did like catching.
But
And
that does
I was-
make a lot of sense.
Sure.
Because anybody that's played baseball or hockey, you know, anybody that's a catcher or a goalie, there's like a little something off with them, you know?
Yeah,
So that
no,
makes
that's
a
fair.
lot of sense.
That's super fair, definitely.
I could say that because my dad was a goalie and we like to give him a hard time.
Yeah, I just liked being able to tell everybody what to do, you know? Like,
Yeah.
hey, move a little to the left there. Move a little. You're a little to the right. Come on,
And
move
you're
in, move
involved
in.
in every play.
Yep. Yeah, I love
This
that.
guy's chasing pretty good. Come on. This guy looks better now. Right when I cast it on him, he did not look great.
Yeah, I've got some small ones down here in the bottom. I'm casting it for some reason.
Oh,
Did you get them?
jump the gun, jump the gun.
Oh, you set the hook too early.
I
he
did
looks
that
better.
time.
Let's go for that
did
suspendo.
that
What am
time.
I doing with these fish? I'm liking this spot a little bit better.
Yeah, you got some more juice?
Little more I'm liking what I'm got some more good targets that I like.
Yeah, some bigger fish.
It seems like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be moving here any second.
I moved onto your spot.
I'm gonna move here any second, then Nick can come show me how to actually catch these fish.
I did just have one like beeline it down to the bottom though when I cast it on it.
That last one, I will 100% admit that was poor fishing. Some of these big ones I've been like purposely setting right away because they'll spit it and forget it kind of thing.
Sure.
But that one was just poor.
You've just got PTSD from your last video.
Yep, exactly. Oh, get down. Oh, there he's coming up for it. Jeez, that guy saw it from a long ways away. Jeez, that guy came and crushed.
They always bite when they see it that far, honestly. I feel like.
It's a walleye. It's not gonna be a cull though.
Oh, dang.
He looked better. Dude, so that's the one that like did some weird things. And this one, you know, it came up from, I mean, it was probably only down 12 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, a bass.
Oh,
God dang it.
that's fun.
So I wonder if some of those that have been acting kind of goofy, you know, that are like doing that little nip and run, I wonder if those have been bassy.
Yeah, you know, sometimes bass don't bite as good as you think they will.
Yeah, I know, right?
I've had fish that were just seemed like they were downright cranky. And then I finally get it to bite and it's a bass.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I finally paid off for this, waiting for this big walleye, and it's sticking bass.
Right. Pretty much, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move off to the last end, and then we're gonna roll to the next spot.
But dude, you've been saying that for the last 45 minutes.
I know, every time I turn around, I see a new fish. Trying to think, I need to look at the map. You know, that's one thing that's a little bit hard. It's like when we were doing it on the lakes that we knew, you knew like in your mind where you were going next.
Yeah, yep.
And now it's like, crap, I gotta actually look at the map again and see.
I know, that's what I do every time.
Looking for. Well, Nick, I think we're due for another question as I'm cruising to the next area. Got the trolling motor on 10 here and we're rolling. Ooh, here's a good one. We're gonna have differing opinions on this one. Actually, we might have similar opinions. I know Brett's put this in the Target Walleye email a little bit. And people in the comments, you can give us your opinion too. But which hand is the correct to reel with?
I got a good one.
Got a good question or a good answer? Or a
good fish? Good fish. That's a great question, but this is gonna cull.
No.
100%. 100% is gonna cull. 100%. This one is bigger. I'm not saying she's a 28, but I'm saying she's probably a 25.
You dirty dog.
Oh, she's big. Dude, she's dogging so hard. I just barely saw a flash of her body. She's pulling drag. Awesome. This is a good one, dude.
I love it. Actually, I don't. I love it if it stays below me.
Heavy breathing. Oh yeah, she's a 10. Oh, dude, she's. Oh no! Oh!
Did it get off?
Oh gosh. Oh, that's embarrassing. My reaction. Holy crap.
What happened? Did it get off?
I don't know, dude. It just fell off.
No.
The hook is fine.
Dude, when they fight longer and they can just like turn sometimes, it just wiggles that hook out.
Dude, I had the drag set fine too, where it wasn't like easy, but it was slightly on the lighter side.
Yep. So if it ran, you could go.
Freaking A.
Dude, that's brutal.
Dude, I mean, I'm
happy. I'm happy for the outcome so far, but I'm also like disappointed because that sucks.
That was like dude, that one was like a 28. It was big.
Seriously? Oh my gosh. That would have put you in the lead.
It was like 10 feet down and I could see it and it was really long. You know how they look kind of small until they get closer?
Yes. Shoot. And actually, you must be, I'm trying to think if I swear I heard you there for a second. I can't tell if it was just in my headphones, but I swear I could hear you.
What?
I could hear you like outside of my headphones. Are we in their somewhat similar vicinity?
If you haven't moved, then we're somewhat close to each other.
Ooh.
Crap, dude. That was a giant.
Oh.
That's a really
I think those are bassy.
That was really bad news.
Well, if nothing else, it makes me feel a little better of some of my poor outing so far. So just for the viewers, even Nick Linder messes up. So give me some slack.
It's super shallow of you to feel better from someone else's pain.
I'm okay with it. I'll live. We are down to like 1 hour and 15 minutes. Also, I feel like it's kind of lame that I haven't moved.
All right, I got another one. This one looks like it's decent, but I don't know if it's giant, you know?
Yeah.
It's definitely not the same caliber of fish, but it did look really nice, honestly, like a solid fish. It should be, I don't remember what my smallest one is, 21 something.
Did you catch it?
Yeah, well, not yet.
But you're fighting it?
I'm fighting it. I'll probably lose it, honestly. Where's the wood in this boat? I need to knock on it.
You're on some bitey fish.
This isn't one of those fancy new impacts that have no wood in them. Oh, dude, actually, this one's fighting good. Ooh, this one's kind of big.
You dirty dog. I just got denied by a good one.
Actually, this one is pretty nice. It's not as big as the last one.
Not
but
as big as your last one.
It is nice. Oh, no.
Well, shout out.
No. Oh, no.
Whoa.
Well, I was ready to net him, and then he took out about a rod length and a half of line. Ooh, he's got a good attitude, and he's going to be like a small cull. Is that like a 23 maybe?
Okay.
I hate to call out the weights before. Oop, hook just popped out in the net, which I love.
Yeah, people love to give you a hard time if you're at all off.
Oh. All right, ooh, that's not a bad fish. We're going to be getting real close here, I think, in overall length. Okay. 23 3/4.
That'll get you closer.
That's
That's what, a couple inches?
That's going to get us within an inch, I think. 23 3/4. Just a beautiful Minnesota specimen. 23 3/4. Is that what I said?
I think so. Sorry, I was also not paying attention. I have like a speedboat and a wake boat and everything around me.
I only said it like 6 times. I should remember. 23 3/4. That's what I'm going to write down.
Write it down.
If it's wrong and everything's messed up in the end, that's okay. Okay, 23.
Where are we at?
Why are all my fish and 3/4? Okay. Got to get rid of this 21 3/4.
So that'll be a 2-inch upgrade.
Yeah, that's going to get us really close.
Yeah.
69 3/4
to 71.
71.
So we're within 2 inches.
An inch and change.
That's crazy.
And your boy is getting bites too.
I thought last time it was kind of crazy, like how close we are. But it's like to do it 2 times in a row so far. This is pretty awesome.
Unless you go ahead and stick another real big one.
Well, I'm going to right now, so.
I think it's going to end up pretty close if that doesn't happen.
Looking bassy.
Ooh, that one actually got the paint right off of it. I've never actually even seen that before.
Say it, the paint right off it? What do you mean?
Yeah, some of the paint came off the jig on that fish.
Oh, from the fish actually, not from like a pliers or anything.
Right.
Dang.
I should almost consider retying, honestly, with those two nicer fish.
You know, we only have a little bit of time left. It would just be such a waste of time. I would just roll with it. Actually, I would probably just clip your barbs while you're at it.
Yeah, so it's faster.
Yeah, you know.
Efficiency. It's efficiency game, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to slow your fishing down.
Well, that's smart, actually. I never really considered that. Actually, the knot is fine.
Do you know what I do need to get better at? Oh,
no,
shoot.
I don't.
I need to get better at sometimes letting. Yeah, you sound like my wife. Oh wait, the opposite. Just kidding. I love my wife. She's amazing. She supports me.
Your
I'm
wife
just making
is
a joke.
Your wife is she probably glazes you all the time. She seems like she's really nice.
She is like way too nice of a woman for me. She puts up with a lot of my crap.
You need someone a little bit meaner, not gonna lie.
I need someone to put me in line every now and again.
You just kind of walk around with your nose in the air. You need someone to straighten you out a little bit.
That's what you're here for, Nick.
You need a significantly meaner lady.
Need a side lady that I'm not dating, but just one that yells at me every once in a while.
Or just a buddy who does that, maybe. Maybe me and Brett should be mean to you, maybe.
You guys are mean to me. Every time
we're actually super nice.
Leave from fishing, you guys, I get home crying, and Liz is like, what happened? Did those bullies pick on you again?
I feel like we're always glazing you too.
Yeah, I do a lot of stupid things, and I'm okay with it. I just need patient people in my life. Are you still seeing some fish over there?
I am. There are still some fish around here.
Yeah, I've been seeing just enough. This is actually a different area. This is a big expanse of stuff. Like this is still, you know, I've been fishing it this whole time and I haven't even hit all of the things that I've wanted to hit.
This fish is being weird now. He was being cool. It's kind of hard to see though. It's kind of in a weird, awkward dead zone spot, but
some of these guys are moving pretty quick.
Fishing pretty good for a minute there though. I had the first one come up, that giant one came up and ate up.
Oh, love it.
The second one that was the 23 3/4 was, he was following and I just couldn't quite get him to go, and I gave him the McComas, where they sort of you let it kind of sink down and they catch it on the fall, but not slack line, but just
it'll drop too fast, but just like almost like a pendulum.
A little pendulum, yep.
Mm-hmm. No, I was saying what I need to get better at is
stealing other people's moves.
Yes.
I'm actually gonna turn around and go back through that area again. What's up?
Letting the fish chase it down more. I just want them to chase up. You know, like that's just my comfort.
Those Park Rapids fish, dude, they're so easy. You never have to do anything different.
Hey, you caught more fish than me last time. That's just because you're a better angler.
Well, you know, just one of those deals.
Although I am undefeated.
Yeah, that's true.
So far.
What a weird tournament last one was. You're on like a numbers spot. I'm all in on big fish, suspended pattern. I end up with more fish. You end up with bigger fish.
Right?
So weird.
It was just bizarre. Ooh, this one's coming up. Come on. It's following. He actually looks a little bit longer than what I was expecting right away.
Oh, I can't believe that long.
Another one of those ones that was kind of hanging closer to bottom.
Yeah.
Kind of like that 27 3/4. That one was a little tighter to bottom.
Wish I could have netted that 29 3/4 that I had.
That would have been dirty.
I'm so rattled still. What's that?
I do think it was pretty awesome that I was just telling you how I was going to fake catching a big fish. And then I hooked into that big one. At what point did you realize that I wasn't joking?
I thought immediately that you weren't joking, but...
You could tell?
But I was like, what if he's joking?
But am I a pretty good actor? So you believe me?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you weren't joking, so...
You'll never know.
I'll never know. That's the problem. Ooh, that
I'm going to give this one till 1:15, and then I'm moving.
That one got bigger.
I don't know where I'm moving, but I feel like to do justice to this competition, I can't just fish one spot.
Should be able to see.
Although maybe that'd be the smarter move.
That was weird.
I haven't even hit all of it. Oof, we could actually use a little bit of a breeze for me. I am sweating.
You wanted to shoot some more videos after this competition was done. You're probably going to be thinking, oh man, I'd like to cool off.
I'm going to go swimming. See if we can get on that guy. He's kind of swimming towards us. Another one that's kind of close to bottom.
Sure.
See if it'll...
A couple of these bottom guys I'm going to start throwing at just to see.
Yeah. Oh, now that guy's moving a little bit. So I might not even come across him.
Little 3-pack, like almost can't be big, but just got to try them.
Yeah, that first one that I saw, that guy was moving. That 27 3/4 that I saw, it was not anything super big right out of the gates, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was the second one because I wasn't even casting at that one to start. Ooh, there's a more suspended guy. A little bit more up. Well, I haven't been getting super bitey from those guys either. I'm getting a lot of chase.
Sure.
But not a lot of eat from the ones that are up.
Really?
Kind of like the prototypical, like what you're looking for. Like, oh yeah, that's gonna eat. And they'll typically see it from a ways away.
We've only got about a little over an hour left.
Yeah.
You gotta feel good about where you're at, although I do feel like someone's gonna stick a 25 between now and
there's
then.
gonna be another at least decent one caught.
And I probably just need like a 23 or 23 something to pass.
Yeah, I don't know what your smallest is.
Something like that. I really don't even want to take the 2 seconds to look though.
I know.
Although it could be a beneficial thing to do because you can know what fish you want to target, you know?
Yep. Ooh, there's that could be a big one. If that's not 2 fish, let's see. It'll take some extra time to line that guy up. He's in the stitching a little bit though, so we'll see.
I would be in first place right now if I landed that big one.
Yeah, you would.
Easily.
But
I'd
you
be
also
blowing
might
it
have
out,
taken more
kind of.
time.
Well,
You also might have taken more time,
no, I'm quick with those big fish.
so you might not have got to cast on that other one.
Yeah,
get
no,
out of
that's
there.
fair. So I only would have been up by 2 inches, not
Shoot,
not
this other
4.
guy's coming up. Almost feel like I need to.
Careful with
him,
them, buddy.
I
Careful.
want the other one. I want the other one. Other guys. Did I get greedy?
I had someone ask in a recent video, it might have been our 1v1, it'd be nice if we had the speed on our screen, how fast we're moving.
Oh yeah.
I'll just mention right now, I'm moving about 2 miles an hour, 2.5.
That guy bit, and he was a little bit bigger.
Is he?
Yes, Nick. This one was the one I was looking at.
Well,
I didn't. There was 2.
That's really
This guy
exciting
Feels
for you.
solid.
Okay.
There was 2, and the other guy started coming up first. This guy, I had to just dangle it in front of his face. This guy feels heavy, Nick.
Good. That's exciting. This is good. Good TV.
Positive development here. Come on. Oh, I just got a tiny glimpse. Just got a tiny glimpse. Got a little bit of a cloud shadow. Is there cloud? There's clouds. Oh, I don't think it's as big as I was thinking right away. It's fighting bigger than it is. This guy's just fired up. He's gonna be an upgrade, but it's not gonna be a, like, put it away.
Okay.
This is way smaller than I was originally thinking. Like, I was thinking this one was first fighting. Like,
Yeah, you thought it was like a 27 or something?
I thought it was bigger than it felt bigger than my first one.
Sure.
Or that big
I almost
one.
just doubled us up there. That was fun.
Get over here. I wish I had my head cam on here. It's just, for people watching, I know somebody said that last video too, like they wanted us to put head cams on. But when it's 3 hours like this, it takes a long time to edit. And so adding all of that and downloading all that extra footage, it was already so much footage. This will be an upgrade, Nick. This will be an upgrade.
Cool.
Let's see what we got. We have, get that out of there, 20, touching 26.
Wow.
Touching 26. Oh, that is awesome for me.
That's big news. That's really big news.
So that is a 5-inch upgrade.
What?
Because my smallest was, so I'm at 76 now. Because my smallest was 21.
Wow.
Let me see.
That helps.
Yeah. And I know
Yeah,
I've been saying it this whole time. I'm actually gonna, but it's probably this, holy, there's a school of fish.
You're
Those
way
will look
ahead
like
now.
eaters.
I know, I just cast it at a little school like that. You're way
This is like what I was
now.
seeing my whole video last time.
Sure.
This is gonna sound very stupid.
Yeah,
but
it already does, honestly. I gotta move.
I think I'm actually going to move.
Dang.
Partially because like I feel lame fishing the same one spot the whole time.
Bro just landed on the juice.
And I've been saying it the whole time. Oh.
Buddy landed on the juice and didn't even know what he had the whole time.
I'm thirsty. I'm sweating. Are you sweating or am I just fat?
Oh, I haven't caught a 28 and a 26 in the last, yeah.
Sorry, I'm just
sweaty.
regrouping here.
No, that's good.
Can you have a little cloud cover coming in? Oh, that would be so clutch. I'm gonna double check everything, make sure. I'm just buzzing over this next area. Oh.
I'm seeing way more fish over here. I wish I was in this area earlier.
So 20, 22 and a quarter. I do like, even though it's a little bit more of a hassle. Oh my gosh, I was not looking for a second. Got off direction. So you, obviously the audience can see it, but I'm just double checking. It's nice having that auto sum in the Google Sheets. So whoever suggested that in Nick's video, good call.
Yep.
So you, yeah, 23. Yeah, that 20, if it was 28, that would have been a 5-inch upgrade.
Jeez.
We would have been like,
how close would it have been if it had been 28?
we would have been within a couple inches, I think.
leads. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get 2 more upgrades, honestly, still. I need to really, I can't have like a 21-ish in the bag.
Yeah.
I
Is that what your
think.
smallest is right now?
It's like, well, yeah, it's 21 something.
Yep.
I can't look, dude. I'm too locked in. I gotta catch.
I'm just getting to a new spot here and I'm seeing some fish. There's like a deep kind of trough. A deep kind of trough. I was actually, honestly, my 100% honest, I was planning on fishing a reaction bait more.
Yeah.
Just because like you can fish so much faster, you know? And it's water you don't know.
True.
But with that grass stuff down there, it was like really hard to fish that.
My biggest fish was on a reaction bait today.
It was, yeah. But your big that you lost, that was a...
That was on a crawler.
Crawler, yep.
A jig crawl. Just crawling a jig.
Just gonna work this. So now I'm actually more of on a... this is a spot that looked good and it was close. It's kind of like a main lake or like a shoreline break kind of with a point sticking out. It gets really shallow. Honestly, I would rather have it be a shoreline break that was like that topped out in like that 15 to 30 feet, but this one tops out in like 10. So I don't love that quite as much, but I am actually seeing some fish already.
I like that. I just had a nice fish lined up and I'm
gonna have to redo that.
Yeah, let's...
As I casted my stinking crawler,
dude, I just did the same thing. Like almost simultaneously. Probably 10 seconds before you did.
We're just 2 gong shows in a row.
Yep. Well, that happens. The more you cast those things, the more they just get worn out. The more you jig them, the more the tail, you know, just it gets kinked right at the end, right at the end of the hook shank.
Ooh, another one chasing. He bit right at this first spot.
I hope it's huge. I hope it's huge.
Not as big. Decent, actually. He's just dogging me a little bit. I don't think it's going to be an upgrade. I think it's going to be decent.
It's hard when you have such giant fish.
For the viewers. I don't even know. I'd have to go back and look for sure what my smallest is. I don't think this is going to beat it. This is following a similar pattern to our last one where you started out hotter, and then I got hot, and then you were hot at the end. And we've got like this, that last hour you were catching fish.
Yeah.
This one's not gonna be an upgrade. It's like the thing too, like you get to a new spot and sometimes it takes a second to recalibrate on like what you're looking at for fish size even.
True.
Oh. This one is like 20, 21. Show it off to the camera. 21. And it is kind of interesting too, like it seems like our bitey fish have come at different times.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
No, that one was too small. Like when you've been catching some fish, it's been tougher. And then when I've been catching some fish, it's been, you'd think if we're on the same lake.
Yeah, that bite windows would be universal, yeah.
So that's just like an interesting little tidbit. Are you zoned in, locked in?
Sorry, I'm just super locked in. There's like a couple nice marks. They're a little lower, so I'm trying to, well, that one's a little higher. They're really moving pretty quick too.
That one was also close to bottom.
Sure.
Like it was probably, it topped out like maybe like 29, so it was maybe like 28, 27, I would say. Something like that, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That looks like
yuck. This is
death trap.
Yuck. Come in, zip in, and then shoot down to bottom. Like, just weird fish.
All right. I'm donating one to the bass gods here, I think. There's a little school. This one's for the viewers.
There's only one god. There's no
Honestly,
bass gods, TJ.
That's true. Valid. I 100% agree.
That was not. That was rough.
Maybe these were walleyes. Maybe these were walleyes. They didn't move. They were kind of set up like bass. They were big schooled up, but they weren't moving as much. You know? When I first saw them, I was like, yep, that's a school of bass. No, it is a walleye. This is, I feel like, a little similar, more similar to like what your first area was.
Yeah, where it was all
like
types
of, a little more bitey
schools
fish.
Yep.
Yep, but they're not anything super big. This one's another, I mean, here's the deal. If you want to just go out and catch fish, these are like such a fun size. This is probably like another like 20 incher. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bump board quick just to be safe. Yeah, like almost exactly 20. And that was in like a big pot of them. But I need to quit fishing for those.
Should we do a fish fry tonight?
We could have. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I'm liking this as much for bigs.
Ooh, that.
Have you been seeing some decent fish?
Kind of. I wouldn't say it's been good. I actually went back to recomb the area where I hooked that big one. Not necessarily to rehook that big one, but just like we were talking about before, sometimes these good spots can reload, you know?
For sure. These fish move around a lot.
Yep.
What is your best secret to keeping crawler junk, dirt and whatnot? Do you do the plastic bag thing? Do you do anything in particular, or do you just clean out your boat every now and again?
I always rig my night crawlers off the side of the boat.
Well,
and
that's
that
probably
makes
smart.
a huge difference, I would say.
Yep. That's probably smart. I did throw a lot of them in a plastic bag today. I've been trying that a little bit.
Yeah, but I think that's valid.
But this is like one of my first times doing it. These fish have not been, or these worms have not been as like lively.
Oh,
or
really?
Like plump. They like, you know, like you fish one for a while and it gets long and like kind of strung out. That's what some of these have been doing in the bay, even with ice.
They can get really plump when you put them in icy water like that, though, which is a really positive
And I guess mine
thing.
aren't in water. Mine are just by themselves.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that what you're supposed to do, is put them in water?
Yeah, like icy cold water.
Got it. That's where I'm going.
It seems like to me, but then it does seem like it takes a little bit for them to really plump up. Actually, one thing I did is I had my night crawlers in my cooler and then left them in my cooler, and all the ice melted and it got a bunch of water, so I had super muddy, soggy dirt in there. And they got so plump and beautiful.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And like they didn't die after a couple days either. Like they still kept for a few weeks. I mean, they kept and, you know, till I used them.
Yep.
And yeah, so that's kind of like an interesting little tidbit. I mean, they're so gross to like rig, and like I'm pretty neat and I'm pretty good at rigging the crawlers off the side of the boat, and I don't make a mess and blah, blah, blah.
You do a much
like,
better job than I do. Shoot. I think I just got on this, got way too tight onto this. I finally saw one decent fish.
Sure.
I don't know if I'm even around it now.
Yeah, I do a good job, but the crawlers, when they're in the mud like that, I mean, you're just gonna make a mess. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah. I just kind of live with it, and then I clean out my boat good.
Yeah.
Every
See, and I
couple
haven't
weeks.
even vacuumed my boat in like a couple of years.
Yeah, I did. I got mine detailed for the first time last year, and it was
really
nice. Yeah. God, I'm just kind of cruising now, looking for a big. And I'm seeing fish.
Oh, that's a big.
You're seeing a big?
One big. I'm not seeing like enough fish where I'm like, ooh, this is great. Is he swimming down the bottom now too? Yeah, of course he is. That's great. About 120 feet away from him, and he starts shooting down. Oh, there's 3 of them. That's why. They're just a goofy little 3-pack. I have half of mine just to throw at them still, but they don't look very big. It's just
I'm not loving where I'm at right here. Now it's kind of like a little bit more of a general break line.
Yeah.
I have to look at the map here.
I've got one of them. I just want to see what they are. Is this going to be an LMB?
Like did you hook in one?
Oh, yeah. SMB. SMB.
Ooh.
Smallmouth. They're pretty out here, man.
Yeah.
They've got some spunk, too. We haven't caught a giant yet, or I haven't anyway.
The smallie that I caught was decent. I'm not going to say giant. I'm also not
so good at avoiding your thumb. Oh, there we go.
I know, I was trying to lip mine. I'm glad I didn't have a head cam on. I was trying to lip my smallie earlier, and I was struggling hard. So I was hopefully something interesting was going on your screen so I could take me off of there.
Yeah, hopefully.
Eventually just bass mastered it and did the underhand grab.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I still like to lip them. I mean, if it was a tournament and I really needed them,
yeah,
obviously you'd net them, you know, but like, yeah, but if I had to hand land them, I definitely could and would, but it would be, you know, you'd probably want to go to the lowest part of your boat and then try and scoop them.
Yeah.
Would be the play. Ooh, I've got one of those muddy crawlers.
I'm going to move here.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm going to do one last hurrah. We got, what, 45 minutes?
I mean, something in that range.
One last spot. Try to pull my trolling motor up without bumping my SD card and losing footage. Or my anything. Okay. Golden. All right, I'm moving.
All right. All right, boys and girls, it's just us now. We got rid of the mean guy. We're gonna continue poking around for some suspendos out here. Although the last suspendo we ran into on this spot was a smallmouth. So it's not a positive development. But we're gonna make our own positive development here. Let's see what we got. I'm almost at the end of this spot too, so I might get the heck out of here. Yeah. Okay. Wait, can I pick up the boat? I'll wait for TJ. Actually, you know what? We're gonna drive. You guys might hear a little bit of engine noise. But I'm just gonna kind of slow. Yeah, I just don't know how loud your mic is gonna be with you ripping, you know? So I'm gonna do a slow run. I'm gonna talk to the folks at home while we do this. Let's get my net out of the way. Don't need that hanging in the water. But I'm gonna make a real short move. So this is kind of crunch time here. We have like exactly 45 minutes. We're going to 2:15. And I think we can still make this happen. I'm feeling a little bit better about this new area here. And yeah, I think there's a few more big ones floating around. So I think we're gonna be able to go and find some of the right ones. Obviously just stuck a couple good ones. That one was giant that I lost. Big time regrets on that one. I mean, that might have been, honestly, that one could have been the biggest one of the season so far, potentially. But then that last one I saw was good too. And actually this is the first area where I've actually found some fish floating around. So that helps. So we're just gonna go and we're gonna look and we're just gonna go super hard. Looking for suspendos is gonna be the plan. So I'm just pulling up now. I sort of fished like one half, like the north little end of this spot. And then I started working north because there were some humps north of it. I figured it would take too long to work my way back into kind of like the middle of this structure. So now we're back kind of in the middle of it. So, what?
I'm back.
That's good.
You're golden. If you need to run someplace.
No, I'm fishing now.
Okay.
I made a short little run, so we're good.
Got it.
I talked to the boys and girls through it.
You kept everyone straight?
Kept everyone straight. Straight as an arrow.
Good. No lies were told?
I didn't even lie.
No talk was smacked?
I didn't even smack.
Smack was talked? I don't know, which one would that be?
Smack was talked. It would have to be smack was talked.
All right, Nick, next question.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready?
No.
I led with it. Whoa. I need to check, make sure I'm still in frame. Okay. Have you ever had that happen where your trolling motor doesn't actually click in?
Oh yeah, and it goes up. Yep, I've seen that before.
So, I kind of led with it last time. Oh, I'm a little bit off this structure. Kind of led with it last time, but which hand is the correct hand to reel with?
Your non-dominant hand.
So, got it.
So I've always just fished with traditional handed gear. So I'm a right-handed person. My spinning rods, I've always held the rod with my right hand and reeled it with my left. And with the bait casting, I've done the opposite because that's what most bait casters are. That's like the standard.
Yeah, which isn't that kind of strange?
Yeah, it's weird that the baitcaster boys and the spinning rod boys decided the opposite. So that's what I've always done, but I actually just recently got some new reels. So, yeah, actually.
Are you going lefty?
Yeah, so now I'm switching the bait casting reels around. So I'm actually going to be casting with my, or the same as my, sorry, I'm looking at fish. Same as my spinning setup.
Got it. And I'm goofy, and I will admit it. I reel with my right hand, hold my rod in my left, and I am not left-handed. So technically, I am in the wrong. I will say that. Technically,
I think it just makes the most sense. Yeah, to use your dominant hand, I think.
Yep. And I don't know exactly why I am the way that I am. You know, I was dropped on my head as a kid or something, but no.
Why actually, are you the way that you are?
Side tangent.
That's an Office quote.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I hate so much the things that you choose to be. That's Michael Scott right there. I'm proud of you, Nick. I didn't know you liked funny stuff. I thought you were just a straight nerd.
One or two things. Yeah, I am mostly a straight nerd. I'm definitely straight, you know.
Straight nerd.
Pretty much a nerd too.
No, funny story. This actually isn't funny. It is funny now. When I was a kid, I fell down our stairs that
Oh,
were like
no.
wooded and onto a concrete floor. And ooh, that's a big fish.
Dude, I'm
And
glad you just found one right away.
I cracked my head open and was like bleeding out of my skull.
Whoa.
And the doctor said if I wouldn't have bled or wouldn't have cracked my head open, that there's a very good chance I would have died
From like, yeah.
because like the
internal
pressure
bleeding.
wouldn't have.
Sure.
Yeah. So like there's that. So that does explain a couple things about me.
That's actually, it's all coming together
But-
now.
Going back to the reeling thing.
Now that we have
that
some
go?
backstory.
Yeah. No, I honestly, do you know what I attribute it to? I attribute it to just like fishing with the old spin cast rods.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And they all reel with your right hand.
yep.
I guess I don't know if they all do, but I feel like they all do.
I don't know. I guess I can't even think of it. By the way, I never ever used those ever.
Well, of course you didn't. You guys like are legit fishing people. I was not growing up. Like no shade at my dad. My dad was a great fisherman, but like we were your typical Lake of the Woods. Like we got our big boat, we go drop half-ounce jigs and we're golden.
Yep.
It wasn't like we were like just dialed in
Dragon jigs.
on this.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's what it is. I just got so used to reeling with my right hand that it felt weird to reel with my left.
Do you cast with your
That's
right
what
hand?
I cast with my left.
Mostly.
Yep.
Because that would be the thing,
so-
right? So do you have to swap your hands when you're,
Oh.
you know?
Ooh, this guy might actually do it. Yep, he bit. He bit. That was actually an okay fish too here.
Really? Dude, you're killing it.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't feel like as big. The mark looked decent. But again, at a new spot, takes a second. This one, I kind of went to another series of humps, series of mid-lake structure. This one isn't quite as juicy looking. Ooh. There's a little bit more. Oh yeah, this guy's not nearly as big as I was thinking.
I'm getting the middle fin now, so every fish I cast, it's like, nah, bruh.
That was what was happening to me earlier.
It's weird.
Don't. Yeah, this. I don't even think this is gonna be an upgrade. It's gonna be right on that edge.
You're getting them pretty decent now, though. You're doing well.
Yeah, I was kind of just jig popped off too. Maybe it'll be an upgrade. It'll be close.
I hope it
this
is.
guy was like more of a. Jeez. More of a. Sorry, I'm trying to get this fish out the top at the same time. A hump that's off by itself a little more.
Mm-hmm.
There is some other stuff around, and it's not like the deep water. You know,
Yeah.
there's some of the stuff that's like by like 50, 60, 80, 90 feet. This one was more like 30, 40.
Yep.
22 3/4.
Do you have one that's
Man,
small?
I thought that was gonna be bigger. Thought that was gonna be bigger, but when I first saw it. Let me see. Get back to that. 20, what did I say, 22 3/4?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, so that is a tiny upgrade.
Is it? What do you have, like a 22
Yeah.
and a quarter or something?
22 1/4, yeah. So a 1/2 inch upgrade.
There's these fish like right on the surface. That can't be a walleye. Could be, I guess, but that's sick, dude.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my... The jig popped off, which was nice, but then it got all tangled up in the net.
Oh,
There, it came undone. No, this one's a little more like isolated. That's the word I was looking for. A little bit more of an isolated hump. There's some other stuff around, but it's not as close.
mm-hmm.
Where am I going? Not as close, so it has been... Oh. See, I have these minnows or these leak crawlers in this bag in my cooler, and I still go for the ones that are in the dirt because it's just out of habit.
You've been using minnows the whole time?
That's something I need to do more of. I don't know, man. They are not fun to deal with and keep
No.
alive, but gall. I feel like they get bit when other things don't.
I don't believe in minnows.
They're a bugger. Minnows, I think we said this last time too. Minnows when I was guiding were like the death of me. Oh, I hated early season. Other than like, yeah, you could get some sucker minnows and you'd like rig them on the weed edges, but
Yeah, those things don't, they're a little more hardy.
they're...
That's finally a fish that I want. It's been a while.
There's some fish on this guy.
There you go.
You getting around one?
I just lost him. Where is he? That's so stupid.
Isn't it weird how like fish can still like evade us at times?
There he is.
Oh boy, what is going on here? I don't even know where those guys ended up. There's some weird things happening, man. Fish were like scattering everywhere. Dang. Oh, my crawler's all messed up. Shoot, I'm gonna throw a reaction bait here. I don't have a crawler ready. There's one. He's hanging a little tired about him.
Probably bite.
Do you still have that guy in your sights?
No, I'm working a couple other ones now.
Ooh, you gotta chase it down hard. I almost stopped it short to see, but then it wanted to chase it down, so. This one looks more rocky. That's what I anticipated that first spot to be, was rocky.
Yeah.
But it was not. There was a lot of that like weedy stuff, but this spot is more rocky.
All right, I did get one of those. There's a little 2-pack. I don't know if these are, oh my gosh.
Gonna be an upgrade.
Beautiful smallmouth bass.
Smallies, huh?
Beautiful smallmouth bass. Oh my gosh, he's so fat. Oh, he's just a
string of fish.
He's just a suitcase, dude.
Suitcase.
He is.
That's one I don't hear very often. That's one I don't hear very often. Mark that one down. Shoot, that one's bigger, and I need to get a crawler on. Oh, that one's sitting up. Oh, maybe it was 2.
This one's gonna be a little too hard, I think. Oh, we're gonna take him over to the shallow side of the boat.
You and your bass boat.
I need one for this. Oh, do they ever stop fighting? Oh, there we go.
That's right. Just keep wasting time with those guys.
I'd like to weigh this one for the derb. There we go. Look at the belly on that thing. Just a Parker.
What's your guesstimate?
Oh, I don't know.
You would know weight better than I do.
Maybe pushing 4, maybe? I don't know. She's just so solid. Fat. It wasn't super long. It was just so porky.
Can you tell what you're on? Is it like rocky stuff or is it more like the sandy type stuff?
It's tough to say. I'm not sure. Maybe sandy.
Yep.
Have you been seeing success in rock versus sand?
Most of that stuff that I was fishing right away was like that weedy stuff.
Oh, sure.
That kind of random weedy stuff. I'm seeing fish here on this rocky stuff. Throwing a reaction bait a little bit because they're closer to bottom and it's rocky. And I love throwing reaction baits on that stuff, but they were not super interested in that. Got into the wake zone again here.
That'll happen.
Actually, these ones aren't as bad. These are not like wake boat stuff. It's just like normal people. Normal humans.
Normal humans with souls.
Not those big jerkies. All right, we got a little lineup of some fish here. Kind of losing myself.
Sorry, I'm a little locked in.
No, you're good. I'm kind of locked in here too. I was like trying to find myself in the midst of all this. I got waves hitting me on both sides. So I'm kind of rocking and my boat is still actually kind of moving forward, which I don't know why.
Might have
I do worry
What are you worried
some
about?
of these are going to be more smally-ish.
Yeah, dude, there's some real
being
smallies
on the
going
rocks.
on here. Yep. There might be no walleyes on the rocks, you know? You never know.
Yeah. I do love rocks, but yeah, they can really not carry walleyes and carry smallies instead sometimes.
Especially on these smallie lakes.
Exactly.
It does feel like the smallmouth can really dominate them, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Ooh, that one's better, and I think he's swimming towards us, though. Shoot. I can be able to get down. Go, 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 go.
Oh my gosh, dude. Every time I get within about 100 or 110, they shoot down the bottom.
Really?
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I did have that happen a couple times.
Really negative.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Yep, that guy bit. That guy bit. He looks longer, too, like a walleye.
Now you're running away with it.
Again, I don't think it's going to be an upgrade. That's a better run. But I think some of these fish have just been fired up.
Sometimes there's giant walleyes too, I've noticed.
I got a tiny glimpse and it did not look... I don't know, I got all these... I guess they're not bad now. Oh, that's one's going to be an upgrade, I think, actually.
Really?
I don't know.
I hope it is.
Still
I want
down
you
there
to
a little
blow me
bit.
out at this point if I don't stick like a 29 and a 26 quick.
Oh. He flipped on me. He flipped on me. This one's actually decent. This one's actually decent. Oh. Yeah, I would come back to this lake.
How big is it?
Mid-20s?
Dang, dude. That's over. You killed it.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, if I don't toss it in the lake. We got, oh yeah, 25 and a half. 25 and a halfer.
Jeez.
That'll be a good little upgrade. Well, that's kind of what we talked about too. Like this, like seems like it has the potential where like it could easily be a 25 plus inch average.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be, what did I say, 25 and a half?
Yeah.
Dang. That's a, a very good average for like not rainy lake.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh. And we're down to what? 30, 20 minutes?
Yeah, 27.
Hooked in the net here. You seeing a bunch of fish still?
I am. I'm just a little close to a dude.
Oh yeah.
Trying not to chat too much.
So you're not gonna start yelling?
Well, I don't want to. Yeah, I can play it off like I'm on a phone call.
Phone call?
Yeah, right. It's hard though. I'm seeing a couple of fish floating around and I'm like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
In that direction.
Cast underneath them.
It's hard because you want to cover ground, right? And then you don't want to, you know, move in too hard on anyone. Like you want to always give people space, but it's like I'm not fishing a spot. Like I'm just ripping through an area, you know?
Yeah, you're not like both going for that little tip on the point or...
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened earlier. Is there was somebody fishing right close.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm regrouped. Dude, I honestly am gonna jump in at some point, I think, today. I'm getting roasty. I run hot though. I'm not often cold.
A natural ice angler.
Natural ice, except for sometimes on the ice I get cold. Maybe that just means I'm a pansy.
Maybe that's it. I don't like it when it's too hot. I don't like it when it's too cold.
You did bring up a good point though, Nick. Going back, I was gonna throw out another question here.
Okay, I'm ready.
We kind of talked about it when we were talking, what was the food thing we talked about? Oh yeah, condiment. Yep. What's your go-to boat snack? I like that one.
I don't know. It's a work in progress. I like things with carbs.
You cannot say unsalted peanuts.
I like chips. I like golden, what do they call it? Cheese fish?
Goldfish?
Goldfish, yeah.
Cheese fish.
Sorry, that's me trying to fish and think of foods.
I know. I'm just trying to distract you.
I love cashews. When we went on a Winnipeg trip, I brought a lot of cashews, like a big giant Costco bag. And I basically woofed 2/3 of it. And then like I had some reactions to that towards the end of the trip and when I got home. So I developed a little bit of a peanut allergy from overexposure.
Can that happen? Like just overexposure?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep.
Dang.
Yeah. So that was negative. But
Do you have an EpiPen?
no, I don't think I would ever be in danger. But
just like don't eat a bunch of them again.
like you just get itchy and stuff, get a little hives and all the things. So yeah, I don't know that I'm in danger with nuts, but I do like I really like nuts. That would be like salted peanuts, unsalted peanuts, cashews.
Yeah.
Honestly, any of the above.
Those are probably a good way to be too, because those are like decently healthy.
Yeah, they have a lot of calories per. They're really they're very dense.
And they're not a like terrible food for you.
Right.
I'm seeing a bunch of fish. I moved more on top of this hump. This hump tops out in like, I don't know, teeners maybe.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in like 19. There's a bunch of fish on top, but I just don't think they're gonna be the size structure.
Sure.
So I'm gonna move off the edge again.
Yeah, it's really hard. I'm not really seeing many fish floating around now.
So you're not a beef jerky guy, huh?
Well, I mean, that would definitely be my top pick. I'm just too poor.
Yeah, that's true. Do you deer hunt?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you deer hunt?
I do. I used to be a lot more into it. Now it's just like more of a family thing.
Sure.
Like go back home and, fish hunt with the family and hang out, deer camp, that kind of thing. I don't get too worked up about anything hunting wise now. That looks like a decent fish. Any deer hunters in the audience here? A little shout out. If you made it this far to the video, you're awesome.
I will also say I'm definitely very, very much considering getting into making jerky, even if it's not meat that I harvested.
Have killed. Yep.
Yeah, like I would love to get into that. So if anyone has any recommendations, leave that in the comments. I've been thinking about just like, if I just buy steaks or like buy beef or turkey or whatever, like, and just like dehydrate it, like that would be, I could make my own boat snacks, you know?
Dude, there's something to be said about jerky.
There is. It's just,
well, obviously one, it's so good, but it's like a good for you thing, especially like venison.
Yeah.
You know, venison's so lean.
It holds so good like, too, you know, like,
yeah.
You don't have to keep it refrigerated and blah, blah, blah. So I am super strongly considering getting into that hobby. So once again, in the comments, let me know if you guys have any recommendations. If it's, just get a cheap one, anything will work, or like get this dehydrator, or like try this. No, I don't have a smoker either. Try this seasoning or whatever. Yeah, smoking would be good too. Brett's really good at smoking.
Dude, Brett's just a good food person, right? Like he makes good food. He's a good cook.
He's just a good guy.
Yes, he's a very good guy. Dude, we need to get him. One of us needs to do this with him.
Agree.
It's
I know he'd love to too.
If we could somehow get 3 of us, that could be so dirty.
Yeah.
But that would be really hard as far as like a viewer experience.
Maybe if we just skinnied it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Skinnied each of our things up a little, and just, that might work. It could work, maybe.
That could just be sweet.
Yeah.
One, it'd just be a good excuse to fish together.
Yeah, true. Or we could just do another walleye cup, how about?
That is valid. That would be very valid. I don't know what these guys are doing. They almost seem more bassy.
Oh my gosh, he's like, get the heck away from me. Okay.
The other fisherman or the fish?
The fisherman. No, I'm just kidding. the
He's
fish.
like, he's giving you the bird.
Yeah. Just he like every time I look over at him, he's giving me the bird again. Like he wants to make sure I see it. No,
Pushing it closer to you.
They're being tough, dude. They're I'm having a hard time on this spot, but there are a few more fish, but I just
Is this a new spot for you, or are you?
I haven't fished this one. No, since I moved the boat.
Yep.
Since we were both moving at the same time. I'm kind of poking around on it, and it's a little bit bigger, so I'm spending some time cruising a little bit, but
Nosing some stuff.
yeah.
I got a shallower hump. There was kind of like this, like, I guess it is a little deeper. There were some like deeper, like 30 to 40 foot flats that I'm kind of roaming over that I thought I was going to see some more suspended fish, but I have not.
Yeah,
I closer to another hump.
So many spots I looked at did not have any suspended fish.
Yeah, isn't that, I mean, maybe it's a touch early, but I mean, it's the 2nd of July. Water temps are, now my live scope showing 73.
Yeah, mine says 72 over here. Yeah,
but it is a little bit bigger, deeper, clear lake. Like, I don't know.
Which is what I was thinking. With it being a bigger, deeper, clear lake, I was thinking it would kind of be, it would maybe set up, you know, like it might not be as far along. But most of that was I was thinking water temps wouldn't be very high, you know?
Yeah.
But they are. Like they're, also it's not windy today. And so surface temperatures
we finally
might
did get
be
a little cloud cover.
Yeah, surface temps might be significantly warmer than the actual water temp.
For sure. This next little hump that I'm coming up to looks kind of juicy. I guess it gets a little shallower, but there's some good looking stuff around it.
There's
gonna be a lot of stuff to still check out. Have you been seeing stuff off the edge or on top more?
I got a little one here, I think. Yeah, I can kind of muscle them around a little bit, which is not a good sign.
You hooked into one?
Yep. That's just a nice solid walleye. Just a fun one. just like a 18 plus incher, like a 19 incher, like.
On normal days, you're like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Like this would be a beautiful fish. Honestly, maybe a perfect tournament fish. I gave him the old Joe Booker hold, the cross arm. You probably don't even know who Joe Booker is.
No, I'm kind of I grew up in the sticks, man. Like we didn't have media or
yeah. Joe Booker's like an old Joe Booker's an old musky pro. Like I think he like started Muskie Hunter magazine and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Oh my gosh, this crawler is insane. This is the biggest, juiciest, meatiest crawler I've ever seen.
I'm having a tough time keeping this guy in my sights here. Oh, there he bit. There he bit.
Please be 29 inches.
It's okay.
Dang.
This guy is off. I guess it's still closer to that structure. I was moving that, it's a decent one. I was moving towards that hump here. This guy's dogging me a little bit here. Right out of the gates, I did not think he was as big.
Sure.
But some of these guys have been feisty. Even some of those smaller ones were like just dogging me.
Yeah.
That's always so fun.
They are really tough out here. I do know that.
As far as like fighting?
Like their attitude. Like they, no, like that didn't help. Like the way they fight is really tough.
Yeah. They're not going to give up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, another solid fish.
You're killing it now, dude.
I don't think it's going to be an upgrade. Don't think it's going to be an upgrade. But decent. Oh. I kind of lost him. He was going in and out of my scope screen.
Sure.
I was getting bounced around a little bit, so I was kind of losing him here and there.
Not a call?
It's going to be close.
Oh, geez. What's your smallest now?
Like 25?
Jeez, you're killing it. 25, what a kicker.
20, this one 25 and 3/4, almost 26. 25 and 3/4. Another beauty. Again, just kind of off here, off the edge of that structure.
You're destroying. Dude, like I said, it is very possible one of us runs away with it in this one. I was hoping it would be me.
And I
but...
would, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to type in what I say. I need to get to the scoreboard before I forget. 25 3/4, so that's a 0.25 inch upgrade.
Dirty.
25 and a half was my biggest.
So I just need a couple 32s and we should be in good shape.
Right? Whoops. What did I say, 25 3/4?
Yep.
I just literally put the same score. Yeah, this is like, it's nice when we force ourselves to fish a different lake.
Yeah.
You know? It's like one of those things you don't do enough, and it can be tough. Like, we could go to a new lake and we could both like just really struggle. But especially when you have more than one boat, like even if one person struggles or whatever, like you can usually figure out some things. And I just, you know, I don't know if you're in the same vein, Nick, like sometimes I feel like I don't just explore enough because I need to get content. I don't want to go waste a day, you know?
Yep.
And it's like, what kind of opportunities are we missing out on?
A lot.
People are always like, oh, you get to fish every day because you're filming and do YouTube stuff. It's like, well, that's not necessarily true because there's a lot of editing that's involved. I fish way less than when I was guiding.
Sure. Yep.
But in the same respect, you don't like get to learn as much sometimes because you kind of got to go to some for sure things.
The editing is the hardest part because I feel like every day I fish, I pretty much have to edit a day in response.
Yep.
And sometimes you need more than a day.
Oh, I find I need more than a day often.
Yeah, and some of these videos, they take longer, and then between that and maybe you have one other obligation or something in the week, and it's like, oh man, I did more stuff than fishing, or I did other stuff more than fishing.
Yeah. Well, that's like all the life things that happen. Like I had to build a bench on our deck, so that took a couple days, you know, and then like obviously we have
stinking
a
4th of July
6-month-old
weekend coming up too.
Yeah, and it's just, for me, this is my wife's busy season, you know, like being a photographer. So it's like, we're trying to navigate schedules. So it's like, I fish way less. I have a much worse pulse on what the fish are doing when I go out, simply because I'm not out as much.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like I've been able to fish more, you know, quite a bit more the last few years and whatever. So it's a positive development. My kids are a little older and, you know, so it's been, and I've explored a little bit, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely, like when you're trying to kick out content, you generally want to go to lakes that are a little bit better, but I don't know, this year I have been poking around on new lakes more and just been able to find some fish and make some content and whatever, and you know, and maybe I could do a better job of telling the story, you know, of hunting on these lakes and whatever. But like, yeah, just getting out and trying new stuff. It's hard to do, and you think that you can't, but I feel like sometimes you just gotta do it. The hard part is if you actually do truly strike out. That's always a tough pill to swallow, because I mean, imagine if you showed up to work and you just like didn't get any work done the whole day.
Got nothing done.
Everybody in the comments is like, what do you mean? I do that 3 days a week.
I'm actually watching this at work right now, getting nothing done.
But if you're self-employed, you know, you really can't afford to throw away a day very often.
No,
so
for sure.
It is hard to go out and not get videos.
And then if you like couple that, we've talked about that before too, and like we're talking like one of us goes on a stretch where you've like went out 3 times and not gotten a video.
That's real.
And then it starts to like compound.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're starting to spiral, and you're like, there's been a couple times where I feel like I even like, okay, I'm gonna go do a guaranteed thing. Maybe it's in the winter and I'm gonna go like do crappies, or I'm gonna go, you know, like I just need to get some content done.
Yeah.
And then like that doesn't go as planned. And I just, I really start to spiral. Like I need to get stuff done. I can't be away from my family and not get stuff done. And
yeah.
It would be so fun just to like go on a 2-week bender and load up the boat, a tent, whatever, and just drive to like all over the state, all over to multiple states, and just using whatever Onyx or whatever, just like hunt out big fish lakes and be okay
Yeah,
striking out.
I want to go to North Dakota and do that.
Yeah. That would be
Now
so
that
sick.
they have that app Onyx in North Dakota, I really want to go over there because that's like just to instantly find interesting lakes based on the data.
For sure.
Is like crazy because the fishing in North Dakota is so much better than Minnesota.
Yeah.
So it's just like a really interesting proposition.
For sure.
By the way, my camera did turn off for a little bit there.
Got it. Your front cam?
So I'm gonna sync up again.
Okay.
Plus, 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 minus, 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 minus. All right, yeah, the front cam turned off. I'm not super sure why, but I do still have the audio.
Okay.
For my mic.
Oh, does it save internally?
Yeah, so you won't be talking to yourself at least, but it will be a black box. You'll only be able to see my scope for a little bit.
You'll get to see my face nice and big. Oh, it was just your scope?
No, it's just my face.
Oh, got it.
So the scope will still be there, so people can see all the fish that I'm passing up on because they don't look big enough.
Kind of seeing a rando.
And it's not like I caught anything since it turned off.
What happened? Did it just time out? Or like...
I don't know. It might have timed out. I thought I had it set at unlimited, but maybe it was Maybe it was at 3 hours. Maybe.
Come on. Okay, there's a
Come on, now.
rando suspendo here. It started fired up. Now it's not fired up. Turned around.
They sometimes unfire.
Less fire. I know this one wasn't necessarily a talking point that I originally planned, but like, you know, knowing your history and like you've got to do a lot of really cool things, is there like one fishing trip or one fishing experience that like really stands out? It's probably gonna be hard to say.
There's a lot of places that I've been to ice fishing that are like these crazy fisheries. And like, I really want to go to those places with my boat.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'd love to go to Lake Winnipeg with my boat. I'd love to go to like Wekusko Falls.
Yeah.
Like, dude, imagine that, like with
Insane.
the boat. Like it seems like it sets up kind of like a normal lake, you know, the fish are out on deep structure.
Right.
Maybe it's a little more rocky than some of our lakes, but you know, it's like sets up somewhat normal. But I remember like there's a lodge up there, Wekusko Falls Lodge, and Brian, who owns it, I mean, he would tell us about the fish that he would catch over the course of a summer, you know, like 10 years ago or whatever.
And kind of just messing around, wasn't it?
Yeah, just playing around. Like
he's exploring stuff.
You know, just running around mapping and just out with his kids. And it was like, he wouldn't measure it like how many 30s did I catch this year. It was like how many 33s did I catch,
insane.
You know? And these aren't greenback walleyes, you know, these are golden walleyes.
Yeah.
You're real far north, right? But like, I'd love to go there with my boat and, you know, use forward facing sonar on those lakes would be insane, you know? Yeah,
that would be wild.
You wouldn't have to probably have to bring any live bait.
No. Well, and this, people might find this interesting. That's actually where we originally met.
I suppose that was the first time, huh?
Yeah. And I got invited.
We went on an ice trip up there.
Yeah. I got invited by Durham because it was kind of a trip with Angling Buzz, right?
Yeah, there was a few different folks.
Yeah, and like Hunt Fish Manitoba was there. I don't know. This was like, I was super like newbie into anything. Like I'm straight out of Lake of the Woods, like straight out of the sticks. You know, all these guys have like all the top gear. And here I am with who knows what, you know, and I probably just looked like...
He was probably still out fishing the rest of us, knowing you.
I doubt it. No, I think I was on the struggle bus there for a while. I remember Dusty stuck with me one time. You guys went to chase pike, and I was like, I need to land a laker, because I had lost like 3 or 4 lakers, and I was kind of struggling.
I think at that point I had a few nice ones too.
Yeah, and it was just like...
Not the giant 40 inchers you could catch up there, but it was... I think the bite was okay. We were catching some.
Yeah.
Some big burbot too.
Yep. Oh, lots of big burbot. And so this is just a little shout out to you, Nick, here. And I will say this. It was really cool for me. Like I had not started any YouTube stuff. I had not been done anything in the fishing industry. Like, I hadn't even started guiding yet at the time. And I just remember, like, you were there filming stuff. Like, obviously, you've been in the fishing industry a long time. Like, I was like an add-on on this trip, you know? Like, you guys were all there doing your thing, and I was literally just like, hey, we need a few more guys. You want to come with? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And, like, still, even with that, whoa, I'm hooked up. There we go. You, like, were so cool, and, like, just one night we just sat around the fire and just chatted. We chatted some baseball stuff. We chatted. And I thought that was really cool because not a lot of people, you know, like, people see TV personalities or people see whatever. And, you know, sometimes people can be kind of snobbish, especially if you're a person like me that was just showing up and who's this redneck. But I always had appreciated that because, like, the whole time I was like, oh my gosh, I don't fit in here. Like, all these people are so dialed in and here's me. And so the fact that you were, like, super chill and just, like, we just sat and chatted, just the two of us for a while, I was like, that was super cool. So kind of funny to see where things have gone now, you know, and now we're fishing together a bunch and, like, kind of a full circle moment, and, like, kind of surreal for me, you know. But just to say, if anybody has any wonderings of what Nick is truly like with his character, that says a lot right there. He would not have had to give me the time of day, and probably shouldn't.
Dude, you are just wildly kind.
No,
This is gonna turn into a big glaze fest to end this video here.
2020 hindsight. Nick is probably like, why did I talk to this kid?
Yeah, I can't beat him in any of these stupid video things now.
No, but I came back from that trip, and I remember, you can even ask my wife, I came back and I was like, it was super fun. Obviously, we caught a bunch of fish. It was, like, amazing. But I was like,
yeah, it was cool.
That was super cool for me to, like, somebody in the fishing industry, like, gave me the time of day. And, like, we chatted, and yeah, so all that to be said, I'm catching another fish.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. That would make sense, yeah.
But
I'm not even seeing fish.
That was just super cool.
I've seen a few, but
I'm also wondering if this isn't a smallie.
Sure.
Because it was kind of, there's like this one boulder and there's a bunch of fish. Where'd that rock go? There's like one boulder there.
There's a few on the bottom. That one almost looks better. Yeah, dude. And then I don't know that we reconnected for a while after that. Not for a while,
no. It was like...
It was a few years.
Yeah, and I had finally started making some content on some things. And I think we touched base on, I think I had asked you a couple questions on some content things. And again, another time where, like, you probably didn't have to give me the time of day. And you answered all my questions and that kind of thing. And it is a walleye.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, that's dirty. Little
side tangent there. But I also want the world to know that Nick's a good dude. Genuinely kind.
Well, that's a super nice thing to say. Yeah, TJ, well, now it's like, all right, now I'm going to say nice things about TJ.
I forced you into it.
Yeah, TJ's like, I've been feeling really sad lately. I'm just fishing. No,
sorry, I caught a 24-incher.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Oh, for sure. Sorry, you were gonna say something really nice about me?
No, it's been fun to do stuff together, and I do feel like sometimes it's like, I feel like what's the best way to explain it? I feel like a lot of times we're like breathing the same air sometimes with just like the way we think. Yeah. Like that's the same my uncle used to say. Yep. Are we breathing the same air here? Yep, we're breathing. Yeah. No, I mean, you know, for sure. We think a lot alike. Like, I don't know how someone like Brett could put up with us. Like, imagine both of us in the same place at the same time. I mean, that's got to be a nightmare.
I just remember that Devil's trip. That was also one of my all-time favorite trips. Even though we didn't fish a ton, but it was like,
yeah, it wasn't a super,
me, you, Brett, and Christian, and like, I don't know, that was just a ton of fun.
Yeah, that was a cool trip. I'm sure Brett and Christian are like, we got to get out of here. Remember when they ran off?
I can only imagine what they were thinking dealing with us too. But in the same respect, you know, even at this point, I'm sure there's not many people watching because they were 3 hours into it. But
well, good, now
if nothing else,
the real ones know.
Me and Nick got to have a little heart-to-heart.
Yeah.
So if you're fast forwarding to the end here, because it is almost the end, you're gonna.
Yeah, where it's like it's over. We got.
If you want to go.
1 minute left.
Oh, mine just clicked to 2:15.
So did mine, but I like to always say it's the end of 2:15.
All right, end of as long as it's still showing 2:15.
You're like, I'm cool with it. I'm like, okay.
There is still some fish around here. So if you
Homie he's just shaking off fish that would be culling for me right now.
which is so funny because it did not start out that way. I was like,
No, dude.
I'm not gonna lie. Again,
Here's the best part about YouTube videos is most people just watch the first like quarter of it. So I hope that's how it stays in this one.
and everyone's like, oh, this is over. Nick was crushing. TJ only had one fish.
It actually was looking pretty aggressive early on, I would say.
Yeah, because yours
honestly.
were decent too. It's not like they were like a bunch of teeners, like 15. Like they were like decent
Yeah.
average fish.
The first one was 19 3/4, and I was like not expecting it to be that big.
Right.
So it was like, ooh, this is really interesting.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
but
sorry, I was
yeah,
casting
now
on a
it's
fish.
officially over.
Now it's
but
officially over.
I know. It's so hard not to just keep fishing.
I know. But we
But,
should probably end it
yeah.
out. Anything you wanted to say before we end here?
I'm gonna blow the doors off of it next time we do this.
You should. Again, as always, give us feedback. Like there was a lot of really
Yep.
good feedback. We incorporated some of the feedback into this video, fishing the same lake, fishing a new lake. That whole song and dance and just some little things. There's gonna be some things that obviously are gonna be less doable on our end. Also, sorry, little side
Yeah.
tangent because I have a squirrel brain. You can see, I just want to show you this spot I ended. Big boulder right underneath me, a couple of rocks. It looks super cool on the live screen, so I'll throw that up. And there's some fish like sitting up on top. Kind of a juicy little spot here.
Yeah, you've got some big, you've got some good ones, and then they're off on the rocks, which is different.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was not sure what the rocks were gonna do. I thought that first spot was gonna be rocks. But yeah, like I was saying, give us some feedback. Let us know what you think of these. Let us know what you'd like to do.
Nice.
How was 3 hours? Like, has 3 hours been a good amount for people? Longer, shorter? I mean, honestly, for like Minnesota lakes, today was a pretty decent bite overall.
This was a good bite.
Yeah, it was a great bite. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was a great bite. But for a lot of lakes, like 2 hours for us might be tough to like squeeze out a number of fish, especially if it's a newer lake or we don't know it. So that's why we did 3 hours, but give us some feedback on that. Any other things that you'd like to see added into it, let us know down below.
Yep.
Again, if you made it to the end, let us know in the comments. There's only a handful of people, I feel like, that commented
He's got to be
saying
smallies.
it, and they made it to the end on your video. So be curious to see if people made it to the end on this one. We kind of go ranting a little bit
Yep.
after, but anything else, Nick?
I'm just thinking I'm gonna do a shore. Oops, geez. I'm gonna do a shore lunch tonight. I did just find a really sick spot that's loaded with rock bass.
Oh,
So
rock
this is a
bass.
positive development. Yeah, this one it's a little small, but I'd probably eat it still. The small ones don't have as many worms.
The worms add flavor.
so
what are you
no.
saying?
Yeah, I would say my thoughts would be this is super fun. Of course, we got to do more of these. And what the heck else am I going to say about this? TJ's the king at the moment for now.
For now, I'm gonna ride it because I know it's gonna be just as easily the other way around. So I'm gonna ride it
Yeah,
while
we
I
got to
can.
think about how we haven't discussed what we're going to do going forward. So really, I would say all options are open at the moment. So if you guys have any strong feedback, you know, we may be changing some things in the future because our original plan was to do one video on TJ's channel, or one video on my channel, one video on TJ's channel. And then from there, we'll see what we're going to do. So, yeah, so who knows? At this point, we're back to the drawing board. So
Yeah,
this was a fun little adventure. You know, we might be doing some more walleye cup in the future too.
yes, we need
Those are
to.
a little bit bigger and more aggressive. If we do another one this summer, it would probably be on TJ's channel, I would assume.
Yep.
So make sure to subscribe here on this channel.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you're watching this, you've probably already subscribed and watched Nick's stuff. But if not, for some odd reason you found this and not Nick's channel, obviously go, A, check out our first one that we did, and B, go just check out his other content. Nick is like an innovator. I mean, obviously if you've seen his stuff, you know, like he's doing like live streams. Started the one doing these uncuts. He had the idea for these uncut competitions. So like, it's kind of one of those cool things. Even like myself, obviously I'm a buddy of Nick's and like we do content together, but I'm like always curious to see like what he's gonna do next. So go check that stuff out too. So.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so I don't know where the next video is gonna be, if it's gonna be here, or if it's gonna be on my channel, or if we're gonna make another channel and start putting them on there, or yeah, I mean, I like 3 hours, I like 3 fish. These last couple, we obviously could have got away with a bigger fish limit, but like TJ said, clear Minnesota walleye lakes in summer. I mean, there's some days where you'll be lucky to catch 3, you know?
That's not always gonna happen.
A lot of people are just happy to get their 3 after fishing all day so they can have a fish fry, you know? So even with new technology, the fish can be super turned off. And we're trying to make this good, you know? Like we want to fish on lakes where there should be some good action and should be a chance at some big fish. But like that being said, it's not always a guarantee, even on good lakes. And, you know, today was a lake we've never been on before. We had an inkling that it would be a decent bite. Well, actually, we didn't know how good the bite was going to be, but we had an inkling it would be a decent lake.
Yeah, we've talked to people that have fished it that like have said there's, you know, good fish on it, that kind of thing. Yeah,
like did well in spring, and blah, blah, blah. So, but also the data says low density, you know, so like we very well could have, you know, been hunting for big fish and just caught a couple fish, you know, so anyway, that's, I guess at this point, it's like a 3+ hour video. So I feel like we can rant a little bit longer and it doesn't matter too much.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm just kind of laying it all out there and yeah, this was super fun. Someone's got to beat TJ.
Exactly.
Someone's got to beat TJ at some point here. Maybe actually the next one will be on Target Walleye's channel. We can recruit Brett in there to do the job. I'm tapping out just like in WWE.
Oh no, I think people know better than that.
So anyway, but it is what it is. Like I said before, you know, in 3 hours on a lake we've never fished before. Yeah. Someone may find some juice and just start sticking them left and right.
Exactly.
So maybe I shouldn't have left the first spot I fished. You know, it just kind of is what it is.
Right.
But
and what was the other? I was just gonna say something, but then I lost it. Either way, me and Nick are very in tune as far as like we just both want cool content. So we don't necessarily know exactly what's coming next. We've got some ideas. We've got some things. We just want to make cool things. We want to make what you guys want to watch. We just love the process of it. We love, I don't know, all of that side of things. And obviously when we can collaborate and just fish together too, it's a ton of fun. So
yep,
that's what I got.
100%. Well, let's wrap this up.
Awesome. Thanks again.
I'll just, the last 10 seconds of this video, I just want to reiterate, leave a comment down below because we really do like the feedback and would appreciate anything that you guys have. So
for sure. For sure. All right,
that's it.
Thanks again, Nick. Always fun. We'll see you the next one on Nick's channel, maybe on a different channel. Who knows? But we're going to do another one at some point. Yeah, as always. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Boom, that's it. That's the whole thing.